Good morning, Tempo Freaks and Raptor Freaks. Lexi here, and it is Tuesday, and the Tempo are resuming the WNBA regular season after All-Star break and in Minnesota against the Lynx. And July 2026 has not been a kind month to our Toronto Tempo. It really hasn't. I mean, I look at my calendar, and they've had 7 games this month, and they've only won one of them so far. They have 2 more games this month against Minnesota, both of them. So they have a chance to win 3 this month, but it's looking like they're probably maybe only going to win 1 this month. This is the worst month in the history of the Toronto Tempo, July 2026. I mean, a lot of it does have to do with Sykes and Rice being out and other people like Niara here and there. And yeah, it sucks. Yeah, we can try and close this month out on a high note. Tonight's the tougher game because we're on the road. We're in Minnesota. And then on Thursday, they'll come here to play us at Scotiabank Arena. And this is a Carnival game. There's going to be a lot of connection to the upcoming weekend here in Toronto, where a lot of people converge on the city of Toronto for Caravana and Carnival festivities. So it's smart. It's smart. You're going to be doing your season in the middle of summer when this kind of stuff's going on, whether it's Pride or Caravana. It's smart to tie in games to those crowds that are coming to the city and try and attract them there. But yeah, hopefully we get a good crowd on Thursday at Scotiabank for that night against the Lynx. So home and home with Minnesota. And it's really bad timing because Nafisa Collier is back. I actually spent some time yesterday watching the Life in the W, the new documentary show that's kind of like Open Gym, which follows Asia Wilson, Nafisa Collier, and Dewana Bonner in their personal lives and playing in the WNBA. Of course, it's from last year, so it's showing stuff from last year, but it's pretty interesting to watch just to learn the personalities of those 3 women and the women around them and the men too. Bam Adebayo's showing up in this show, kind of like Charles Oakley on The Real Housewives of Atlanta, you know. But from what I took of Nafisa in these shows, I watched like the first 3 or 4 episodes, is that she's very much a family woman. She's very much her life is very important around her kids, and that she's very serious professional, and she's a very strong competitor. Now she's one of the top players in the league, but she's never won a championship. So she has a real like goal to really want to win a championship. And it's kind of interesting this season because she's missed most of it. She just came back the game before the All-Star break. And well, she's going to be the late push and the reinforcements for the Minnesota Lynx on their stretch run for this season. And man, I'll tell you, scouting them and looking at them, these team is nasty. They are stacked with talent. Their starting 5 is untouchable. And in some ways, they've got really good depth too. So let's go ahead and get right into the preview. I'll start with the latest lineup news, which is injury news for both teams. And we'll go look at it real quick. First of all, the Tempo, there is quite a bit of news for us. We'll go over each one of them real fast. Of course, Brittany is out for sure. The closest time for Brittany to come back is August the 10th. So that's a little bit into the next part of the season before we'll see Brittany Sykes back. Of course, it is the plantar fasciitis. She's been sidelined since June 16th. And she's taken part in individual activities during practice, but it seems the veteran is still a long way from returning to game action. Yeah. Tempo head coach Sandy Brondello indicated Sunday that Sykes' foot isn't close to returning to game action. I don't like that. So Sykes is the one who's going to take the longest to come back. Isabel Harrison is on our injury list this morning due to her knee. She's listed as questionable for today's game. She didn't practice yesterday, and she's in jeopardy of missing Tuesday's contest due to a left knee soreness. If the veteran forward is unable to suit up, expect Yeskeda, Fagbenle, and Tiani Key to get increased playing time. So, yeah, Isabel is technically questionable right now. So, there may be no Harrison tonight due to a knee injury. She did not practice yesterday. Kiki Rice, estimated return. Well, the date is today, which is a good sign. Kiki Rice is technically questionable for today's game, just as much as Isabel Harrison. It's her ankle. And well, this would be a return from a long time away and would be very, very awesome to see her there. But also, Coach Sandy has been quoted as, we don't want to rush her back. And we're working with the people that want monitor like safety for coming back from injury on the levels of have her coming back ramping up. And so she may be practicing because she did practice both Sunday and Monday, and she was fine. But there's going to be conditioning concerns and stuff. So they got to ease her back in, ramp her back up. And who knows? We could say this, but because Kiki's a young rookie, she comes right back in and she plays like 20 minutes tonight anyway. So we could see this. We could hope for this. The return of Kiki Rice would be very good, especially with the foil of the rookie Olivia Miles on the other side. So, yeah, hopefully Kiki can play tonight. She is questionable, but that's the same as Isabel right now. Another person who's questionable for tonight is Niara. Niara Sabali still has the ribs/back injury. Yeah, she did go through practice yesterday, which should put her on the right side of the questionable tag that for today. So if Sabali returns from the one-game absence with a rib injury, fewer minutes will be required from Yuskeda in the front court. So, yeah, there's a chance that Niara, it sounds like she's probably going to play, guys. I'm going to say this right now. She's probably healed up and fine. Maybe she got her back adjusted during the All-Star break. And since she practiced yesterday, that's a really good sign. So I'm going to guess that Niara is probably likely to be playing today, even though she is questionable technically. I would say that it's most likely that Niara Kiki will play and Isabel is out. That's what I would say. That's what reading the tea leaves of what these things are saying. That's what I hear. So yeah, that's pretty much it for injuries for the Temple. I know it's enough. Seriously. Brittany is out for sure. Isabel is very likely to be out. She's questionable. Kiki Rice is like 50-50. I'll tell you right now. She's questionable. And Niara is questionable also, but she's likely to play, is the way I read this right now. All right, let's go look at Minnesota Lynx. Are they even dealing with any injuries? Well, now that Nafis is back, Dorka is back, they're pretty much mostly full strength. Of course, the Lynx, we played them once this year already in the regular season. They beat us one in the first game at Minnesota. We played them a lot in Minnesota. They haven't had to play in Toronto very much. We played them in the preseason in Minnesota. We've played them already this season in Minnesota. It was 100-72. It was a blowout. And then we're going to play them tonight in Minnesota. So they're getting a lot of home games against us this year. We will play one game against Minnesota here, and that will be later this week on Thursday. And then we'll be done with the Lynx for the year. So it's like we're getting our big shot of Minnesota Lynx this week. So, yeah, who are the Lynx? Well, Nafisa Collier is a MVP-style player. The great rookie, Olivia Miles. The all-star, Natasha Howard, is somebody we forget that's on this team. Is so powerful and so good. Kayla McBride, one of the best shooters in the league. Courtney Williams, one of the stud buds, who had a great time over the weekend doing all the fun stuff with the interviews, asking Marina Mabry's mom if she wants to take shots with her. Yeah, Courtney Williams is fun. Nia Coffey, Dorka Uhas, of course. She just came back from injury not too long ago. There is one player that is listed, and it is Emma Chekova. Emma Chekova is listed as out. I'm going to guess maybe it's because they're a development player and they're not necessary to play, but it doesn't have any injury for them. Maya Caldwell's on this team also. Anastasia O'Leary Kosu, Antonia Delier, Liatu King, Aliska Hamzova, and MS Hoff. And that's pretty much all the players that have played for the Lynx this season. They are so good. Of course, they have the all-time winningest coach in WNBA history, Cheryl Reeve, who is very good coach. ESPN matchup predictor is saying 78.3% Minnesota Lynx will win today. So they're giving us a 22% chance to win on the road in Minnesota at the Target Center. Yeah, that's not very good chances. That's one of the worst ones we've had all year, actually, coming in. So, yeah, Tempo have a tall hill to climb. Let's just put it that way, a tall hill to climb. So, yeah, that's the injury news. Yeah, quite a few names on the Tempo's list, but there's some promise. Kiki is nearing return. Kiki is nearing return, y'all. That's what I'm saying right now. And it could be today. It could be today. Let's check in with the refs real quick. You know, that was great news over the All-Star weekend that the WNBA is going to utilize the NBA Replay Center in Secaucus, New Jersey. I thought they were already using it. I was like, why wouldn't you set this up right away and let them use it? It's a great resource. And it is helpful to a degree, even if there's manipulation from afar of some sort of thing. But I still think that the replay center with more eyes and trying to get it right is a good thing. And I'm like, why did you wait so long to add the replay center to the WNBA? You've been using it in the NBA for a few years now. Why wouldn't you use it in the WNBA? I mean, it's stupid. So yeah, our refs for tonight. We're going to have a new ref that we have not had this season yet. First game, they'll referee for the Tempo, and that's Ashley Gloss, number 10. She has no record with us because she has not refed us yet. So this will be the first game. She's the crew chief tonight. The other two refs are actually really good refs for us. Our record with the other two refs so far this season is 4-1. That's right. Gerda Gatling is the second ref, number 24, and we are 2-1 with Gerda so far this season. And then the third ref today will be RJ Johnson, number 41. And we have 2-0 record with him. He's actually the best ref technically for the Tempo currently right now. We'll see how that is at the end of the night. If anything, you'll be 2-1 at the worst, but 3-0 would be nice too. So yeah, he's the only 2-0 ref left in the league right now where we're undefeated when he referees. So RJ Johnson, Gerda Gatlin, 2-1. And then Ashley Gloss for the first time this season. That's our ref crew. Cumulative record 4-1, which is not bad. It could also mean that they're trying to even out those records with some losses. Like Gerda will go to 2-2 because we're going to play the Lynx and it's likely we'll lose. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. I do keys the victory, but I don't even know where to start when it comes to the Minnesota team. I don't even know where to start. I mean, you've got problems at each position. There's very high quality players, all-stars at almost every position. I mean, let's not get it twisted. This team had 3 all-stars at All-Star Weekend last week, and they could have honestly had at least 2 more. Seriously, between Nafisa and Kayla not getting on the all-star team, they could have had a few all-stars, extra all-stars there, other than Olivia Miles, Natasha Howard, and Courtney Williams. So this is a star-stacked studly team. This is a studly team in honor of Courtney. I'll say that. All right, Trevor J, words of wisdom. Good morning, Commissioner Fun, Trevor J. Speak life into yourself every morning. Speak big. Speak healing. Speak success. Speak peace. Speak love. Speak happiness. Speak growth every day. Yeah, words can be powerful. Words can hurt people. Words can shape your mind. If your words are negative and you're always dissing yourself and other people, you're making an uglier world for yourself. So use the power of your words wisely. Use it wisely. If you want to be a successful person, speak to your success and not your failure. This is key. This is so important. If you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will. So yeah, you really, really do have to watch your self-talk. You got to watch how you speak to other people and whether you're putting yourself down to other people. There's all kinds of sides to this. So speak to your own greatness. Don't be egotistical though, and try to be fair to yourself, because a lot of us are not. We are very tough critics on ourselves, and we're not nice to ourselves. And we need to give allowances for failure and also allowances to be human. Just as simple as that. Blessings to the Jones family and all the Rapid Freak families. Yeah, yeah. Trevor J saying this. Happy game day. Let's get back to winning. Easier said than done, Trevor. Easier said than done. I was outside doing something this morning, and I looked over and I heard a knock, knock, knock on the tree. And well, it's a big, giant, pileated woodpecker. Yeah, one of those big ones with the red head. Oh man, it was so impressive. And it really got me grounded with my natural connection to nature once again. The rabbit was out there too, eating in the yard. And when I see these animals around my yard, it always makes me so happy, because I feel like I'm building an ecosystem in a yard that's very habitat friendly for animals to be in and naturally coexist with me. So yeah, the bunny's my friend. The bunny is not afraid of me most of the time, unless I startle it, it'll run away. But otherwise, it'll sit out there with me and just stare at me, and it won't run away if we're calm and we're just chilling. So, but yeah, seeing the woodpecker this morning was awesome, because it was getting its bugs out of the dead tree over next to the road near my yard. It was really cool. I like it. Yeah. Yeah. Our Mr. Greg is here. Good morning, Mr. Greg. Good to see you this morning on Tuesday. Top of the day to all from the sheriff, Seymour Pape, checking in from the Calgary, Alberta Mountain Standard Time. I know it's a little earlier there, and Mr. Pape is showing up to work to get that pape, and hopefully he'll be hoisting shots while he's listening to the Rapid Freak show this morning. So always good to have the sheriff in the chat. And Mr. Greg is saying good morning to him also. Yeah, let's see. As I said, the ESPN matchup predictors are saying 78% chance for the Lynx and only 22% chance for us. Yeah, well, we just got to do what we got to do. We got to show up and play the games. We got to hit the beats of the song as they come down the pipe. And well, tonight it's Minnesota in Minnesota, and it's 8 p.m. Eastern start of the game, just so y'all know. Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and do some more of our stuff that we do on this channel. This one I want to do here is interesting. This is the Toronto Tempo Redditor of the day. It's very, very interesting. In fact, I want to share it with you guys, and maybe you guys can help me with this. This can be an interactive part of the show here. This is the post that I'm doing, the Tempo Reddit of the day. I just put it in the chat. You guys can go look at it, and maybe while we're doing this, you guys can make guesses on who you think is who. So basically, the Tempo, we're in a classroom or a locker room, and there's whiteboards in there. And somebody on the Tempo was an artist, and they wrote some stuff. Welcome to our home. Get it poppin', Temi Fagbenle voice. And they drew 14 little figures at the bottom of the thing, and they're saying who is who, because it's the whole team of the Tempo. And you got to look at the numbers and kind of say who is that from the team and who is that. So I was trying to guess it. It's kind of fun. This is purely just for fun. I saw this image on Isabel Harrison's Instagram, is what the poster said. I'm very confident that number 2 with an angry face is Marina Mabry. I think that's probably right. Y'all. Is that the one with the angry face is Marina Mabry? I mean, if I'm looking at them and I'm guessing, all right, I'll go through the whole round, because I kind of figured this out yesterday, and I'm guessing Temi made this. I'm guessing that Temi may have drew these, but who knows? Maybe Isabel did. I don't know. Number 1, I think, is Julie Alamont. Number 2, Marina Mabry. Number 3, Yaskeda. I'm guessing that's Yaskeda. Number 4, I'm thinking is Niara. I'm not totally sure. Number 5 could be Kiki Rice, but I'm not totally sure there either. If you guys have better ideas about who they are. Number 6, Maria Conde. Number 7, Tima Pui. She's like the shortest. Of course, that's going to be Tima. Number 6. Number 7 is number 7 is Tima. Number 8 is Brittany Sykes, because that looks like Brittany's hair. I'm going to guess number 9 is Kia Nurse, because she has that little fluff hair sometimes. Number 10, we'll just say, is Ornella Bencoli. Number 11 could be Tiani Key because she's done her hair up like in a little poof like that at some point this season. Number 12, Isabel Harrison. Number 13, Kayla Alexander. And then number 14, Temi Fagbenle, because she is number 14 on the team also. That's my guesses on the Reddit post from yesterday. It's Isabel Harrison's little stick figures. So what do you guys think? Maybe you can look at that post and the link I just posted there and go look at the little doodles and see who you think is who, like 1 through 14. That's who I guess the 14 are for the team. Just trying to suss it out with logic and reasoning and hoping that the stick figures heights are relative to maybe the real heights of the players too. Like the little one is Tima, right? The little one. Yeah, but that's a fun little game, a fun little thing. And obviously it's from them. Somebody drew it. So there's somebody on the team that drew the team, and that's how they see them. So fun. But thank you to the Tempo Redditor of the day for bringing this up. That's Atsuko Chiba Paprika. Atsuko Chiba Paprika. That's a great one. That's a cool name. And she's a Marina Money Mabry MVP supporter. That's right. That's good stuff right there. KT's in the house. Kareem Thomas, our dunk champion, our multiple time dunk champion. Let's see. He's saying, Lex, how many teams in the East do you think are better than the Raptors on paper, given the Raptors have Kawhi Leonard? Oh my gosh. I don't know why you asked this. This is a hot button topic. In some ways, it's too early to tell any of this. I don't look, I'm biased. Kareem, what do you think I'm going to say? We're the best team on paper out of all those Eastern teams. Come on, man. You can telegraph what I'm going to say on this. Do you think I'm actually going to sit on this show and say that one of the other Eastern teams is better than us on paper? No, I'm not. I don't care that the Philadelphia 76ers got LeBron. I don't care that Miami got Giannis. I don't care about that stuff. First of all, I don't believe that Miami's going to be that much better this year. I really don't. I've already talked about this. As soon as they made the Antetokounmpo move, I said there's problems here, and I don't think that this is not going to go anywhere. The Miami thing's not going to work. I'm going to tell you that right now. Now the Philadelphia thing could be very much the same. It's not going to go anywhere and work anyway, even though it's a super team and it looks really badass. And Nick Nurse is saying yesterday that LeBron's going to play point guard for them. So I'm like, whatever. I mean, I get it. Maxi's more of a shooting guard kind of guy, but he wants to give the ball to LeBron and let LeBron be the ball distributor. I'm not going to say this, KT. This is a dumb question for me because I'm a total through and through homer. Look at my wall behind me. I'm going to say we the North, number one. And Kawhi Leonard, Scotty Barnes, Colin Murray-Boyles, RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickly. That is just too much good stuff. And people forget just how good our team is. And when you add Leonard on top of that, that just puts it over. You're not going to get me to say anything like this. Toronto has the best team in the East. That's right. That's what I'm going to say. Yeah, this is a silly question. You should know me by now. Trevor J is here. What are you saying, Trevor? Any team can beat the best team on any night. Every team has a weakness on some nights. I know, but I'm going to say this. There's a couple of things that are against us here. First of all, Minnesota's home court, Minnesota's reputation, the referees in the WNBA want to hold that up. That's all part of it. But then we can get into digging in with the players that are coming. Nafisa Collier's been hungry to get back, and she's not taking any prisoners. She's coming in kicking ass right away. I know because I have her on my fantasy team. I have like 4 Lynx players on my fantasy team right now. This is actually on the down low strategy I've used this year to be one of the top teams in our WNBA fantasy league is have Lynx players on the team because they're good. So I'm very familiar with 4 Lynx players in particular because I've been playing them most of the season. Well, the ones that were hurt, I did not play. But I have Kayla McBride, Courtney Williams, Nafisa Collier, and Dorka all on my fantasy team right now. So, I mean, this is a really good team. So Collier's just come back. She's trying to make up for missed time, and she's fresh. So she's just, yeah, that's a mess. That's a mess right there. And then you've got the rookie Miles, who just came from All-Star, and she's riding a wave right now because she looked really good at All-Star. She feels more confident because she is a up and coming star in this league. She was so good at All-Star break. She came off so well with the interviews and she carried herself. You know, that kind of stuff, just like for Marina, it will bring you up your confidence because you start to really feel like you belong. And Olivia Miles is a rookie. This was her first All-Star weekend. And she's coming off of that feeling right now of feeling even more confident as the top rookie in the league. So there's all kinds of reasons why, if I'm looking at the whole scenario and I'm looking at the factors, the Minnesota Lynx have a huge advantage over us in a bunch of different ways. They have a lot better depth up front, and they have some very polished bigs that can absolutely mess you up down low. So that, and then they still got the stuff outside too with McBride and Miles and Williams. So it's like they got good balance. They got three really good front court players and three really good backcourt players. And we only have good backcourt players. And honestly, right now, we only have one good backup court player, really, overall, that's of a superstar nature. So that's really, really tough. We've got a real true expansion roster, and they've got an all-star team. So this is going to be tough. I mean, Trevor, I compared them to the Scarborough Shooting Stars with just how stacked with talent Minnesota Lynx is. And well, as I said, the weakness for the Scarborough Shooting Stars is maybe feeling a little too confident, letting your guard down, and allowing a team that shouldn't beat you to beat you. But I don't see this. I don't see this. Part of it is that the coach Reeve wouldn't allow it, and she'd be on them and keeping the standard of excellence. We've got to understand, in some ways, Minnesota Lynx is a established franchise in the WNBA that is very, very proud. Their fan base is very proud. They have multiple championships in their history. They have a lot of accolades and a lot of good things in their past, and they're used to a high standard team. This is not like the Timberwolves. This is a team that's usually near the top and is usually exuding quality for like 10 years now. So it's just a tough franchise with a really great culture, a really good fan base, and a really die-hard winning like culture. So it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. I'm not saying you're wrong, Trevor. You're right. Any team could beat any team on any given night, but it's gonna be a tough order tonight. It's gonna be a tough one. Yeah. Seymour saying this: Bleacher Report's top 30 best starting fives not mentioned. Milwaukee 30th, Minnesota 12th, Boston 11th, Toronto 10th, Houston 9, Atlanta 8, Cleveland 7, San Antonio 6, Denver 5, Indiana 4, New York 3, Oklahoma City 2, and Philly number 1. Lex, your thoughts? So that's Bleacher Report. Who cares? Bleacher Report, once again, is, it's not somebody who's going to be in any kind of fair judgment of us. They're always going to sully us. I mean, it's not totally horrible. They've got us in the top 10, which is in the top third of the league, which is good, which is good. But I mean, I can get why they put Philly number 1. That makes a lot of sense. Oklahoma City, sure, why not? New York, they just won. Indiana, I don't know about Indiana. Denver, well, Denver's not that good with their starting lineup than us. They're not better than us. Denver shouldn't be above us. Atlanta shouldn't be above us either. And I would even argue that Cleveland's not better than us with their starting lineup, even though they have a very stacked starting lineup in some ways. San Antonio's fine. They have a better starting lineup than us. The only 4 teams I would say we're probably past are Atlanta, Cleveland, Denver, and Indiana. Those other ones are fine as far as being ahead of us. Now, there's a post yesterday from Shams and on the Reddit for Raptors that is saying this, that the 3 teams they're looking at DeMar DeRozan right now and that like him the most and are really in serious talks are Miami, Denver, and Cleveland. And that those make sense to me. Miami, I've talked about Miami already as a landing spot for DeMar DeRozan, but I think Denver's even better. I think that if DeMar was on Denver Nuggets with Jokic and Jamal Murray, that could be a very interesting look, a very, very interesting look. DeMar could call up Valanciunas and ask him about his Denver experience recently. And, well, you get to play with a young Canadian guy named Murray who looked up to you, DeMar, if you show up, and you get to play with one of the greatest centers in the history of the NBA. and he's going to set you up for all kinds of easy shots. So I'm a big thumbs up on DeRozan on the Nuggets. As far as like his ability to do what he needs to do individual career wise with the all-time career scoring list of the NBA. This Jokic will find DeMar. And in some ways, DeMar could play a role on that unit like Russell did a couple of years ago. And it could work really well. So I like the fit with DeRozan in Denver. The fit in Miami's okay. The fit in Cleveland's a little bit Yankee and not exactly right, though. I would say that. But that's what the report is that those three teams are very interested in DeRozan, and they're talking to him. And nobody's saying anything about the Raptors and DeRozan yesterday, okay? But that's the latest update on DeRozan and some of the DeRozan stuff right now. Is those are the three teams they're talking about right there. Yeah. Yeah, let's see. Kaz is saying, good morning, everyone. Good morning to you, Trucker Kaz, on the road again. He just can't wait to get on the road again. It's Tuesday, and he's out there on the road again, my friend. He just can't wait to get on the road again. All respect to Willie Nelson right there. Seymour saying, salute to Trucker Kaz. That's right. Seymour saying, if DeMar signs with Denver, maybe he will squash the Lowry-Gordon beef. No, he doesn't need to do that. Who cares if Aaron Gordon and Lowry hate each other? That was wrong what he did, Aaron Gordon. And there's no reason that needs to go away. I'll bet you money that that's probably not a thing anymore anyway. That so much time has passed. And it's Kyle's probably talked to him. Kyle's retired now. It could very well be he could call Aaron Gordon right now and laugh about the whole thing at this point. But, I don't think that this is necessary. Because even if he hasn't, I would look at it this way. Kyle Lowry stands on business. Kyle Lowry is not wasting time or waiting around. If he wants to fix his relationship with Aaron Gordon, he will. If he doesn't, he'll say fuck him for the rest of his life. That's his choice. Not everybody in the NBA has to like each other or like each other for the rest of their lives. This is normal to have people that you have grudges with when you're in a competitive sport and you play at such a high level. So, Kyle doesn't have to have any kind of forgiveness for Aaron Gordon and vice versa. And there's nothing wrong with this. And even if it'd be funny if DeMar shows up and plays with Aaron Gordon, they can joke about it. I think at that time, DeMar was like, fuck you, Aaron Gordon, too, because this is my best friend Kyle, that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's interesting that you think of that first. I don't think about that at all when I think about DeRozan coming to Denver. I don't. Kareem saying this. In order for DeMar to go to Denver, he may have to consult with me first. Oh, because you're such a Denver guy. Okay. Well, you should reach out to him. Send him an Instagram post, message. Slide in his DMs, Kareem, and go ahead and make it sound like you're important. And say, yeah, you need to be okayed by me before you come. See how that goes. See how that goes. No, DeMar don't need nobody's approval to do nothing in his life. That's one of the most beautiful things about where he's at with his mental health and who he is and knowing who he is and stuff like that. You don't need to answer to you, Kareem. No, he don't. That's right. If he shows up on Denver, you should be very happy and feel honored and privileged that the great DeMar DeRozan is putting on the Nuggets jersey. That's what I would say to that, man. That's right. He's went through too much mentally to have to worry about getting the okay from people. No, live your life, DeMar. Live your life true to yourself. We love you, and you're a badass. That's what I say to that right there. Yeah. Seymour saying, I hope Harden goes west and destroys Cleveland's season. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Cleveland. I feel like in some ways they're pissed because James went to Philadelphia. I think that the teams that were kind of really in the James sweepstakes that didn't win it are kind of pissed right now. Miami, Cleveland, yeah, Golden State, they're a little pissed. And but don't worry, teams. This is probably a good thing that you didn't get him. Just trust me. This is probably true. Yeah, Shaq Lindsay saying Denver and Cleveland have no money. How are they going to get DeMar? Well, I don't know. Not being a salary cap apologist for those teams and understanding their situations completely. Yeah, it totally makes sense with Cleveland with their maxed out thing. But I bet you there is some money for Denver in some place. I know that they have a lot of money invested in their two big stars in Murray and Jokic. but they still have to have some money filled out there. And this is the kind of thing where I could see DeMar signing a $4 million contract like LeBron and showing up on the very least that he can get paid. And once again, I'll remind Raptors fans, we don't have $4 million to pay LeBron or DeMar. So that was not an option for us, and neither one of them really are. Now, I don't know the specific situation for the Nuggets and how it would work for them, but I would say this: if they're reporting that they have interest and they're talking back to DeMar about coming, that would mean that these teams are actually thinking about it and they can see a fit with him being there, because that's all the report is. The report isn't that DeMar wants to go to those teams. The report is that those three teams are apparently very interested in getting him and talking to him about it. Yeah, that's the way I look at it. So I'm not sure, Shaq Lindsay, how it will work. Yeah, Brooklyn has money. Well, that's the thing. DeMar said what he wants, and this is similar to Giannis. This is similar to LeBron. He wants a chance to really compete and be in the playoffs and have, some competitive basketball at the end of the year, whether it's a championship or not. He just wants to be on a team that has a shot, and the Nets are not that. It actually would be a good spot for him to go to if you ask me, but he won't get that dream of getting back to the playoffs at the end of his career if he does that. He'll get a lot of points though, like Michael Porter Jr. did for the Nets last year, and he would rise up the all-time scoring list. So in some ways, I would say pivot that way and be on a bad team and lose a lot, but get a lot of points and have really good individual uh accolades. Yeah, it's not necessarily the right fit for what DeMar wants. It really does have to be a team that's going to probably make the playoffs that DeMar is going to sign with, not anything like Sacramento or anything like that. Yeah, Fiercey's here. Good morning to Fiercey. Good morning, fam, and happy game day. We played the Aces. Let's see how we do against the Lynx. Olivia Miles is much watched TV. Had Kiki not been injured, she would have competed. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if Kiki Rice would have been an all-star, and I don't know what she would have done at the all-star weekend. So I think she could have been involved in the all-star weekend somewhere. She's not going to be in the three-point shootout. Maybe she's in the skills competition somehow, some way. But I think it would be hard pressed for her to get on the all-star team as a rookie. So I don't know if she would have competed. Yeah, competed for rookie of the year. Oh, well, if she had been hurt all a good chunk of the season, yeah, she'd be one of the top 3 rookies. But even then, I don't know if she's beating Miles. The thing about Olivia Miles is she's not just in the running for rookie of the year right now. They're talking about her for MVP of the league. And that's a real game changer, and that's a really high level and it says a lot about her that as a rookie she's coming in and people are whispering that she could be MVP of the league. That's crazy. I mean, like I said, she's on a team with Nafisa Collier and Kayla McBride and them, and she's still shining bright as the center piece in the middle as the little point guard. And that's so hard. You got to understand, like, it's one thing for Kiki to come in and play for the Tempo, an expansion team that has no identity, and kind of jump in and be a very important piece of our team. But Olivia Miles is jumping into an established team that has established stars, established a lot of winning, and she's shining in the middle of it and making herself look big in the middle of all that in the round her. And that's really impressive. So, yeah, I mean, Kiki's probably top 3 rookie with Fudd and Miles. But, she'll hopefully get all rookie team, but maybe not because she's been hurt all year, which would be a shame. So, hopefully Kiki Rice will return tonight or Thursday, play healthy for the rest of the season, get really fresh in everybody's minds about how high level she is, and they will put her in the all rookie first team for WNBA still. That may be the thing she's trying to salvage at this point, is to get on that all rookie team right there. Yeah, get on that rookie team. Yeah, let's see. Trevor's saying this. I like Scotty's rookie throwback. What come out yesterday? Okay. All right. Yeah. Let me just talk about this real quick. This is the Redditor of the day for the Raptors. The news is slow. on Raptors Reddit right now, at least real news. There's a lot of speculation and a lot of BS posts that are dumb, whether it's like talking about trading people or Steph Curry or things like that right now. But Mandam Wombo is going to be our Raptors Reddit of the day, and they've posted what Raptors official admin posted yesterday, which is every Scotty Barnes basket in his rookie season. It's an hour-long clip on YouTube. And I know what they're doing right now. It's not like these people are working hard or anything. They're using AI. They're using AI and they're using AI to go over the whole video library of the Raptors in some ways and make these clips. Part of the reason why the Raptors highlight clips all last year were 2 minutes is because they get AI to make them. And they said, AI, make a 2-minute highlight reel of the Raptors game last night. And it's horrible. It's absolutely sucks. It's another case of horrible usage of AI by lazy people that don't want to do any work and craft something that's amazing. See, I've edited a lot of clips before in my past. I've made a music video. And editing is a very fine art. But if you tell AI to do it, it's not going to do it with any kind of zest or imagination or creativity. It's just going to cut things together like a robot and not have anything to it. In some ways, that's what this is. They told AI to go in and get every single basket that Scotty scored in his rookie year and just show it all in a row. And it's an hour and 7 minutes clip. That's kind of cool. And it's cool that we get this kind of content, but also I much prefer the memory contact ones. Like this is the game where Terrence Ross scored 50 or Pascal scored 50 in Madison Square Garden, and people remember it. And Paul Jones and different people are sitting and reminiscing about Raptors memories. Those were cool clips from last year. They had a couple of those kind of clips earlier this season, or remember when or something with Leo Routens and Paul Jones. I like those more human oriented clips than just the generic. We told AI to do this, and this is what it regurgitated out. Blech. And that's what this is. We have to recognize this, that the Raptors admin for social media is using AI, and they're lazy as fuck. And honestly, you have no skills. Whoever's Raptors admin and think you're so cool that you make these clips, you're not. You're not. You have no talent, and you're absolutely relying on AI to do something that people with talent used to do all the time. And it's kind of a sham, honestly. You're probably somebody who's never even done anything in editing, and you're just completely relying on the AI to do the job for you. So why do we even need you as the job is what I would say. Person who's just pushing the buttons. At some point, you'll lose your job too. The person who initiates the AI request for what you want. Yeah, at some point you're gonna lose your job too. Slippery slope. You go ahead and indulge in this new world and do this, and you guys are all gonna lose your jobs eventually. So yeah, good job, AI person. But yeah, Reddit of the day, Manam Wombo. Thanks for putting it up on Reddit. That's the best I can do. Everything else on Reddit is crap. So that's my Redditor of the day, the person who posted Scotty's rookie baskets. Yeah. Yeah, that's the way I look at it right there. Is like, I get it. You guys are using AI to edit sports highlights and clips and stuff. It's garbage. It's garbage. It's garbage. The best place to watch highlights of the Raptors is on NBA's regular page. They give you a 15-minute highlight reel of each game. And that's so much better than this 2-minute bullshit short change that Raptors admin has been giving us the last couple of years. You can at least give us 5 minutes instead of 2 minutes. Just change the prompt. It's not like you're working hard, Raptors social media admin. You're not. It's all bullshit. You just change the prompt. Say, Raptors at AI, I want you to give us 5 minutes of game highlights every game this year. That would be great. This is not hockey. You can do a 2-minute highlight reel for a Leafs game because there may be only 3 goals in it, but not for basketball. You need at least 5 minutes of highlights. And if you're going to tell me, no, there's not enough attention span in the youngsters for that, well, we're fucked. We're all doomed. If we can't have kids watch a highlight reel for 5 minutes, it has to be 2 minutes, and you're shortening attention spans, then you're a part of the problem. Well, fuck you, Raptors admin. Go ahead and give us a 5-minute highlight reel this year. Seriously, I dare you, motherfuckers. You're going to put in the prompt 2 minutes of highlights, and that's how you do it? Fuck you. Do 5 minutes at least. I dare you to do 10 minutes. People like me have the attention span to watch it like that. That's what I'm saying right there. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, that's my little spiel on that. Let's see. Seymour saying this. So Marina and D Fox are splitting shoes as the Fox twos are well Marina's shoes. D Fox? Who's D Fox? You know we only do full name answers. Are you talking about De'Aaron Fox? Like I don't understand. Who's D Fox? Is there a D Fox in the WNBA? I don't know. Is that Marina making moves? Okay. Well, that's part of what All Star Weekend is. It's a networking place. It's a place to get your brand out more. I mean, that's what Collier is talking about on Life in the W. Is like, I'm coming to All Star Weekend to work on my brand, to get connected with more people, to get more with my brand. You know, that's a big deal to professional athletes. Their NIL, their name, image, and likeness, and what they put it to, like companies and selling stuff. So yeah, that's one of the big things about summer league and all-star weekends for the WNBA and the NBA is that these are networking opportunities where there's a lot of people around and they can try and get new contracts with advertisers and companies. That's a part of it right there. That's definitely a part of it right there. Shaq Lindsay saying Denver is in a bad situation. If they lose Peyton, Joker will ask for a trade. Peyton? Who's Peyton? Who's Peyton? I don't even know who Peyton is. Peyton Watson? You're talking about Peyton Watson? That jabroni? That no-name jabroni? Peyton Watson? He's not important? No, you're kidding me, right? Peyton? You mean Peyton Manning? I don't know you're talking about. Walter Payton? Full name answers here, y'all. They lose Peyton? Joker will ask for a trade? No, that's not what I've heard. Nikola Jokic has said he will always play for Denver. He doesn't want to play for any other NBA team. That's not what I've heard. Why do you guys always speculating people are upset and they want to leave? No, Jokic doesn't care. He's won a championship. He doesn't want to go to any other team. He's only played for Denver, really. I think he was on some other team early, but he got traded or something. Maybe not. He's always been on Denver. And he's on record very clearly saying that he only wants to wear a Nuggets jersey for his whole entire career. Nikola has made that very public and very clear. I mean, I don't see this. Why would he get mad at Peyton Watson being off the team? That's silly. That guy's a role player. He's not even a main player on their team. He's a jabroni. That's weird, man. Why would he do that? Trevor's saying this. When LeBron was on the Lakers, ESPN talked about the Lakers every day. Now it's the Sixers every day. Yeah, it's normal, but they're still going to talk about the Lakers. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted, Trevor. Luka is still there, and it's still the Lakers, and the Lakers are going to get a lot of more attention than they probably deserve still because it's the Lakers, and Luka's still there, and Luka's a huge star, so they will be giving their attention there. But yeah, Philadelphia's going to get a little bit more spotlight this year for sure, just because LeBron James is there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They will talk about him every day. Kareem saying, I don't think they can afford Peyton. You guys keep saying Peyton. Walter Payton, Peyton Manning. I don't know who you're fucking talking about. Peyton Watson? Is that who you mean? Once again, that guy's not a needle pusher. Why do you guys care about that? Why would Nikola care about that so much? That's what I would say right there. That's right. Maybe I just have a blind spot. I'm like, dude, I don't respect that guy. He's just another jabroni in the league to me. I don't know why y'all make a big deal out of him. Shaq Lindsay saying there's a chance that Peyton, okay, once again, people keep saying the name, but they're not giving me exactly it. I'm guessing it's Peyton Watson. First of all, yeah, I think he spelled it right with the E. I think that's how you spell his name. Peyton. And Watson, like Watson. Let's see. Might ask for the qualifying offer and become a free agent next year. Once again, this is not Nuggets free. And bit players like Peyton Watson, I don't care about. I don't care. These are not needle pushers. If they leave or go, this is like Bruce Brown shit, guys. This is Bruce Brown shit to me right here. Seymour saying Peyton will chase the paper. Brooklyn Brown bound. Okay, so he'll follow Michael Porter Jr. and go that way. All right. All right. Let's see. KT saying this. Nick Nurse is going to run LeBron into early retirement. LeBron's going to take a significant time off due to old age. And then Philly fans are going to make him hate basketball. Then he's going to ask to be traded to Cleveland and retire. That's my prediction of this LeBron Philly situation. That's not what I see exactly. I mean, it's hard for me to totally figure it out because Jaylen Brown's a factor. Jaylen Brown's a factor. The one thing I know is Joel Embiid will miss a chunk of the season coming up. I do know that. I do know that. And how they balance things in his absence and how they deal with things without him. That will be part of it. Maxi's gonna have a really fun time this year, but he's gonna see a decrease in his numbers. Maxi's numbers will go down, but he will probably be having the most fun he's ever had in the NBA because he really loves LeBron. Uh, it's hard to say. I mean, Nick Nurse running LeBron to the ground too, along with Embiid. Maybe, maybe. I don't know. We got to remember also LeBron is kind of his own coach, and he'll tell Nick that nah, I'm sitting out. You can't play me this much. It's not like Nick Nurse can force him or tell him to do whatever he wants. LeBron is his own person, and he can check himself out of games even when Nick doesn't want him to come out. We got to remember that, guys. LeBron is the kind of person to wave to get out of the game if he is too tired. He doesn't want to be out there, and he knows himself better than anybody else. So that may be part of how they avoid Nick overrunning him is LeBron overrides him and just says, "Hey, I'm coming out, coach. I'm coming out. I'm tired. I'm sorry, Nick. I'm tired. I'm coming out." And Nick's going to have to adjust his rotations with that in mind. I'll bet you. That's kind of what it sounds like. Yeah. Sounds magnificent. You like the idea of this music to your ears about the problems with Philadelphia and possible LeBron trying to go to Cleveland at the last second? Well, that'll just be goofy. This is his last decision, though, y'all. If he makes that decision, it's not his last decision then. If he makes that decision, that's funny. Yeah, Shaq Lindsay saying Peyton is nice, but he isn't worth 30 million. Yeah, I still not totally getting it. Peyton Watson. It is Peyton Watson. You guys are talking about Peyton Watson. We're talking about Peyton Watson? Peyton Watson? We're talking about Peyton Watson? Oh, man. Colin Murray-Boyles is better than Peyton Watson. Like, why are we talking about Peyton Watson? Peyton is nice, but is he worth 30 million? No. 30 million a year? Hell no, he's not. That's ridiculous. These Nuggets guys start getting overpriced from their head, whether it's Porter Jr. or Gordon or any of them. I mean, they gave Gordon a crazy salary, and I'm like, why are you paying Gordon this much? Like, seriously, this is ridiculous. These guys are overvalued in some ways and overpaid because people covet them and love them so much in the Nuggets history. Nah, man, this dude is not worth 30 million a year. No way. Yeah. Seymour saying De'Aaron Fox, Lex, and Marina are splitting the Fox twos. So wait, is it kind of thing where like De'Aaron's doing the male market and she's doing the female market for them? So it's like she's wearing De'Aaron Fox's shoes. That's scary to me. I don't like that. And she's trying to promote it from the WNBA side and see, Marina wears De'Aaron Fox twos as her shoes on the court. Okay, that makes sense. Thank you, Seymour, for elaborating. I will go ahead and give you a dunk for giving me the full picture. So that makes sense. All right, you're at 78. 78 on the chart for Seymour Pape. Come on now. Cooperate, keyboard. 78. 78 is great. That's right. Oh, okay. Peyton who? Peyton Watson has a high upside. What? I didn't realize we were talking about Peyton Watson so much today. That's crazy. We're talking about Peyton Watson? We're talking about practice? I'm just like, what, man? Come on, y'all. There's a lot of young guys that have come up through Nuggets, and I don't totally respect them. Even that Brune guy, I don't trust that guy either. All right, real quick. Tonight, there's CBL action. The regular season, the last week of the regular season is happening starting today. And there's one game on the slate tonight. It's Vancouver Bandits with their 14-8 record have traveled to Montreal to play the Montreal Alliance tonight. 7:30 p.m. Eastern tip. It'll be on CBC Gem, RDS, CBL Plus, and YouTube for free. And this is a pivotal game. It's important for Montreal to stay alive in the playoffs. They could be arranged from second to last in the Eastern Conference still. So all these last few games for them are really, really matter. And Montreal Alliance have 2 games left, and that's it. So they got to do this. They got to try and win both these games. But Vancouver's very good. And Jarkel Jr. posted on Instagram stories last night that he's in Montreal ready for the game tonight. So yeah, CBL action tonight, just one game. Vancouver at Montreal, 7:30 tip. I think I might try and watch a bit of that game also while I'm watching the Tempo game. So yeah, Jarkel Joyner versus Quincy Guerrier, former Raptors 905 teammates, facing off against each other today. So check that out. Check that out. Yeah, let's check in with our HD real quick. We're still in the gate of influence, gate 31, which is the gate of leaders. And there's a lot of themes about leadership and the masses and the leaders that they follow, and about true, pure, good leadership that actually represents the will of the people and what people actually want, like democracy should be in its theory. So, yeah, the word of the day today is intent. And the word is the success of influence based on how it's perceived. So, there's a detrimental side to it, and this perceived ego aggrandizement sounds like the pedophile, and attempted manipulation. I said child rapist, actually. External negative projection of one's capacity to lead. Yeah, that's talking about the child rapist. But the other side of it, the positive side of it, is public acknowledgement of a nurturing and protective influence, external positive recognition of one's capacity to lead. So the whole idea is about the intent of the leader and whether the leader has good intentions for the people. And well, it's very clear which kind of politics right now don't have good intentions for people in general, and which side and which kind of people do have good intentions for people. A lot of the good candidates that are coming up in the US and in Canada are not really strongly affiliated with the classic political parties that have been representing the country, whether it's Republican, Democrat down south, or liberal and conservative up here. The people are not totally happy with the establishment parties, and that there's grassroots people, real life kind of people that are coming into politics because they're fed up and they want to do something about it personally, and they're taking it into their own hands. These are great leaders because they're like us and they're more in touch with people's needs in society. And that's why the moneyed interests, the people that may even have huge amounts of money that get spent on their campaigns, are going to lose in this election because we're not falling for it anymore. The big money can try and buy elections, but we can see exactly who is who, and the people will vote in the ballot boxes. And if there's any true democracy and that the will of the people and votes matter, we will see the outcomes come out, and it will be a very strong rejection of the moneyed interests in politics. So the old parties are crumbling in some ways, and there's a new grassroots of people candidates, people like the New York mayor, Mamdini. So we need more kind of leaders like this on both sides of the border, here in Canada and in the United States. So intent. What are your leaders' intentions? Think about that today. What are the intentions of leaders that are supposed to be in charge of things? Are they for us or against us? And reject the leadership that isn't. There you go. There's your little check-in with HD today. Gate of influence 31, line 4, intent. Intent is the word today. Think about the intentions of your leaders, like Doug Ford. Bleh! I'm so happy that he lost in the Billy Bishop thing, and it was the federal government that stood up to him and said, "You're not doing anything with Billy Bishop." And thank God, because it would have been very detrimental to the people that live in the downtown core of Toronto if they had tried to do that or something like that. Yeah, it's kind of crazy, man. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, let's see. Fiercely saying Marina has better judgment than Fox on the court. I know. See, this is the thing. When Seymour started talking about this connection with Fox, I'm like, I don't want to be connected with Fox. No, not after these playoffs and the stuff that happened with the Spurs and the Knicks and De'Aaron Fox. Yeah, it's not like he's the most popular guy in San Antonio. And some people in that San Antonio fan base are like, get him out of here. He's just in the way of our very young guys like Harper, and we need to get him out of here. So his stock is not very good right now because he kind of was a failure in these playoffs, right? So I'm like, don't associate with him, Marina Mabry. What are you doing? Don't be dragging your name through the mud with De'Aaron Fox right now. Seriously, don't be doing that. But it's a good lucrative opportunity for her. She's going to take it. Yeah, Marina has a higher upside. There you go. There you go. In some way, she can make more money for De'Aaron Fox since his reputation's all messed up right now. her reputation's amazing right now. In fact, she's one of the most popular players in the WNBA right now. She really is. And you can tell from the ovation she got at the All-Star weekend in Chicago from a crowd that's not the Toronto crowd. They gave her a big pop. I mean, there were, like I said the other day, there were a couple players that got huge pops. Asia Wilson, Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, and Marina Mabrey. They got some of the biggest pops. Paige Becker's got a pretty good pop, and Olivia Miles too. But Marina was one of the top 3 pops, or 3 or 4 out of everybody at that one. Yeah, Shaq Lindsay saying this. Peyton Watson is a young player with a high upside. When Joker was out, he was putting up numbers. Teams are clamoring on getting Peyton Watson, but is he worth the money for an unproven player? Well, to me, I'm like, once again, and you know me, if I've been watching the NBA a long time, I see them come through. I've never ever thought anything extraordinary about Peyton Watson. He's never stuck out to me. I've never seen him and been like, whoa, this guy. Never felt those feelings about him. So that's why I'm mystified by all this to do about Peyton Watson this morning in our chat. Is I'm like, what? Peyton Watson? Really? We're talking about Peyton Watson. Really? Really? Seymour saying this, Lex, how does it work if a player, Duran, and team, Detroit, don't come to an agreement? Is he available for any team at some point? Yeah, the stuff with Jalen Duran's really crazy. Jalen Duran's an idiot. I think he's an idiot. I'm going to say this right now. I think Jalen Duran is an idiot. I'm going to say right now, he's got red flags all over him. He's somebody you don't want on your team because, first of all, he's not loyal. Second of all, he's got a huge ego, and it's getting fed in weird ways right now. And in some ways, his ego is his biggest problem right now. He thinks he's hotter shit than he actually is. In some ways, it's the NBA's fault because they gave him an all-star this year, and he also got some awards in the postseason also. That's the NBA's fault. You propped up an average player, an okay, very strong player, but honestly, not an all-star. And not a dude that honestly should have gotten some of the accolades he got this year. The only reason why you did that was because Detroit had a really good record. Now, think about this. Why did Detroit have a very good record this year? As a team, they got that record. But in some ways, Kate Cunningham, who's the head of the Snake, gets a lot of accolades, and rightfully so. He's their best all-around player and franchise player. But they had to pick somebody else who was the second banana to give some credit to on that team, and that was Jalen Duran after Cade Cunningham. But I don't think he was ready for that. I think that Jalen Duran's head just grew, like swole up like 100 times bigger after all these awards this year. And now he's an idiot. He's going to shoot himself in the foot. In some ways, he may do a Dennis Schroeder to himself real fast right now, where Detroit's offering him an amount of money that he should probably get paid, but he's thinking he's all that in a bag of chips and hot shit, and he's above it now. He's a problem. He's may have a physical specimen. He may be one of the strongest guys in the league. He may be a very promising player. I don't think he's an all-star. I didn't agree with him being on the all-star team this year because he can't handle that level of pressure because obviously his ego exploded into crazy madness. So he's a big no-go for me. I would have told you, I would have loved having Jalen Duran on the Raptors a couple of years ago or even last year, but not after what's going on right now. Because this is the thing, the way that Detroit was the last couple of years, it seemed like they had such chemistry and such bonding. We used to see them behind the scenes, like really having riz and connection and really gelling. But what happened to that? It's almost like the front office of Detroit has destroyed it in the last 2 off seasons by getting rid of all their veterans last year and then getting rid of the rest of the veterans this year with Tobias Harris going to San Antonio. Nah, Jalen Duran's an egotistical head case. And in some ways, he thinks his shit smells way sweeter than it stank. And there's a problem there. And that may mean that he's going to be like this for the rest of his career. This may very well be the true self of him, that he's the egotist. And in some ways, he has no idea just how much the team around him helped him get his own personal accolades. And he may find out in a harsh reality in the next couple of years. You don't want to deal with Detroit. You're turning your back on them. You're stabbing them in the back because you think that they're under offering you offers for contract. That's the whole problem right now. That's what it is, guys. you're going to end up on a shitty team, and you'll be a big fish on a shitty team, and you won't get any kind of spotlight for the rest of your career, Jalen Duren. So you better watch out. The way it would work is this: is like if they don't come to an agreement, and he goes through the proper channels, he becomes an unrestricted free agent. But then he'll have to test the market, and in some ways, he'll be at the mercy of whatever leftover cap space different teams have around the league, and who would be willing to pay him what. This could actually backfire on him spectacularly, like Dennis Schroeder in LA Lakers, where he rejects something that's very fair and fine, but his own ego tells him he's worth more, and he fucks up, and he ends up making even less than the initial offer from Detroit. He's a dumbass, honestly. I'm really disappointed in him because in some ways I thought that he was a good building piece for Detroit, but now he's stabbing him in the back, and they just had their best season in like decades. So it's crazy, man. I don't understand how Detroit got exploded so badly this offseason. You just went from the best record in the Eastern Conference to now you're probably going to be a play-in team, if not out of the playoffs next year. I'm going to say that right now. I'm going to make that prediction right now. The problems that are going on with the Pistons right now and the way they're running their team, their front office is not smart. They're going to fall from the first team in the East to being a play-in team or straight up out of the playoffs this year, guys. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be a very crazy fall. Kate Cunningham can only do so much as one man on that team, and they keep stripping all the good pieces around him away every season. He can't have continuity. He can't continue to build to rise up. That may have been a one-year blip last season for the Pistons where they jumped up like that, especially with the East getting so much stronger this year. There's a couple of teams that went down this offseason, and there's a bunch of teams that went up, like the Raptors, the Heat. Well, I don't give the Heat yet, but the Sixers, sure. And Indiana's going to get reinforcements back with Halliburton and Zubac with his first full year. But Boston and Detroit, they're on their way down. They're on elevators on the way down in the league right now. And New York is too on the down low. New York is on their way down too from coming up and getting the ring this year. That's right. It's crazy, Seymour. I think Jalen Duren's a fool, and his own ego is going to mess up his career. Watch. Shaq Lindsay's saying this. This is the problem with some of the young talent in the NBA. They're asking for the bag, and they haven't proven anything yet. I know. Lex, you're right. Who the hell is Peyton and Duren? I know. What have they done? I mean, this is the thing. Duren can say, well, I'm an all-star this year, and I'm this and this. There is a fair price for Jalen Duren, but it's not the price he thinks. That's the problem. Some of these guys are a little bit inflated with their idea of who they are and what they should make. And they're crazy. Like, I think Jalen Duren wants like $50 million a year or something like that. You are crazy. You are crazy if you want something like that. That's crazy. Yeah, and I love that the Raptors have always been, there's only very few cases where they've invested huge contracts in players that haven't proven anything for them. Gary Trent Jr. was one of them. Brandon Ingram was one of them. When we brought him in, he came in hurt, and we did sign him to an extension and do some stuff with him sight unseen. But most of the time, the way it works with the Raptors is you have to do the work and earn it, and then we'll pay you after. That was definitely the case for Fred, OG, and Pascal and Norman and their group. That they didn't just get handed money; they really earned it. And then we got paid. We paid them some more money, medium money, and then they went on to get the huge money somewhere else. So yeah, this is true. Shaq Lindsay and I are on the same page. Who the hell are these guys? They're young. Are they LeBron James? Are they established guys for a long time? No, they're not. No, they're not. They're both very young with bright futures. Yeah, but they could fuck up their futures. This is the thing. These guys don't understand. They don't understand it's a privilege to play in the NBA. There's a lot of good players in this world. I see them on the CBL that could be playing in the NBA. But you're lucky you got that spot. You can fuck that spot up too by rubbing people the wrong way and being disconnected from reality as far as with your ego and how good you are. You can fuck that up too. Trust me. There's some players on our team right now that I'm worried are going to fuck that up. Seriously, already. There's a couple players on the Raptors that I think they're way better than they are. and they're not as good as they are, and it's going to fuck up their careers. And I don't even need to say who they are, but I'll say both of them play guard. Yeah, both of them play guard, and they're not Emmanuel or RJ. Let's just put it that way. That's what I'm saying right there. Yeah. Yeah. Shaq Lindsay saying RJ is proven pay the man, but not too much. Laugh out loud. Well, that's why I like what Wemby did. That's why I like what Brunson did in New York. Give the hometown discount, do a couple things here and there. You know, RJ, there's so many advertising opportunities in Canada for you to do whatever. You're a Canadian guy on the Toronto team, and it's perfect. You know, if RJ wanted to work more hard with getting more advertising money and getting more big contracts legally and not in an aspiration way, you know, he could probably make a huge sum outside of his NBA contract money and make a lot of money endorsing things in Canada. He seriously could, if you think about it. But, you know, RJ's that kind of guy. I think he's very clear with what his priorities are. He wants to win a championship in Toronto. And for RJ Barrett to win a championship in Toronto, he may have to make some sacrifices, continue to make sacrifices, because he's already made some sacrifices. He will continue to make sacrifices to be that selfless, no ego guy who's a glue guy, who's willing to step up and be a leading scorer on a night when people are missing. But also, he doesn't have to be that every single night. And he's okay with Scotty or Kawhi being more of the focal point on the team. See, RJ's got the right head on his shoulders with the ego. He's got a very strong belief in himself, and he's a very strong competitor and a very high-level player. But also at the same time, he's grounded in reality, and he's not letting his head explode with swelling like Jalen Duren. So, yeah, you know, I'm with you on this. RJ is a proven guy. He needs to get paid correctly. But you know what? If he's willing to give a little bit back, like Wemby did, just to help with team construction, that's a good thing. And once again, I would tell Raptors fans the pricelessness of having the hometown hero who's the kind of guy on your team that sets a tone of quality control about intentions, about the whole entire team and what they're out there trying to accomplish and what they're trying to do. There's no questioning the pureness of RJ Barrett's intentions, what he wants and what he's doing. Some of the American players that jump the border and play for the Raptors, you can't totally trust them and their true intentions deep down inside. RJ's you can. AJ Lawson's you could too before he's gone off to Spain now. Because these guys grew up as Raptors fans. They want what they want, the best for the Raptors. And RJ Barrett is somebody you should totally trust. And him being on the team makes the other players on the team respect and have to be more quality control with playing at their best ability, because they're playing for RJ's hometown team and RJ's on the team and he's watching them. And he can tell whether somebody's not working up to the level of work that they want from these guys. And he may be like, yeah, I'm not having this, bro. We're trying to win a championship here in Toronto and we ain't fucking around. And what are you doing? Fucking around with your life and waste your time. Seriously. It's the same thing with getting that gold medal for Canada too. That's right. It's the same thing. That's right. Seymour Pape saying this. She's very smart. It's not about De'Aaron Fox. It's about her taking advantage of an opportunity. Very smart, and I respect it. Damn auto type. It's kind of funny you split that. It's not about deer and fox. Deer and fox. That's what's in my yard. Deer and fox. It's almost like it could be a cartoon show where there's like a fox and a deer that hang out in my yard and they talk to each other. And it's like, hey, what's he doing over there? It looks like he's gardening. Yeah. Okay. It looks like he's pulling garlic. Okay. Yeah. Well, that guy's weird, eh? At least he puts out water for us. You know, Deer and Fox coming to Cartoon Network. Deer and Fox. Deer and Fox. Deer and Fox. That's really good. Yeah, I think she's smart too. I won't deny. You're right. You're exactly right. It's a good opportunity. And even though Deer and Fox is, we might just call him Deer and Fox. Deer and Fox has had a rough year. Let's just put it that way. And that's not Marina's fault. That's not Marina's fault, right? That's not Marina's fault. Seymour, $30 million to keep all the lights on. Damn, huh? $30 million to keep Peyton Watson on your team? Should Denver get investigated like Milwaukee with Gary Trent? Huh? What are you talking about? Bright futures. Yeah. Oh, okay. I wouldn't pay $30 million, but I would bargain. Well, that's what I'm saying. It's tough for these young players to really speculate their true value with the expanding TV contracts and the money and the cap as it expands. Of course, they're all going to think optimally for themselves, but they may not really understand the true motives of the franchise and what they're looking to do. You know what I'm saying? They're always going to think, "Oh, I'm a $50 million a year player. I'm a $40 million a year player." They're not totally in touch with things, and especially guys that come up and they're prep stars and they were some hot shit in college and they were in March Madness and they've been told they're so great for so long, and then they get the NBA and they're just a regular jabroni, and they're like they're average or maybe even below average, but they still think they're hot shit and their ego. This is a problem. This is very common around the NBA. Very, very common. And some people just don't understand how much they're worth, honestly. They really don't. Fiercely saying this, Marina and Courtney Williams had an intense scuffle on Unrivaled earlier this year. It was nasty. I saw them playfully hang out this weekend, and it all seems good. I understand it was just competition. Well, Courtney and Marina were teammates, I think in Chicago when they were on the Sky. So they're very close. They're actually very good friends. Whatever happened at Unrivaled, that was definitely out of competitive spirit. And Courtney Williams is kind of a shit disturber from what I can tell. Her whole stud buds thing with Heidemann at the All-Star weekend and the podcast and just their kind of motif and what they're doing. It's cool. It's interesting. I like it. She's a lot of fun, but she's also brash, outspoken, and maybe a little bit about pushing buttons. And well, you add in the mercurial, emotional Marina Mabry. Well, that might be just like nitro with glycerin. But it's all in good fun and no hard feelings because they really truly are very close friends. And we did see that at the WNBA All-Star weekend this past weekend, that Courtney was interacting with Marina in the game and also off the court with her and her mom and other places too. So yeah, I really do realize the WNBA is really like a big family. And I get mad at this with the NBA with players being too chummy across teams, but I think it works really well in the WNBA. I think it does. And part of it is also that the players are going to play with each other most likely at some point in their careers. It's very likely that players will have to play on the same team with each other at some point, just with the way player movement happens in the WNBA. So, yeah, they're very close friends. They're actually, I think it's funny because what I remember hearing Marina talk about with Courtney Williams is that they do kind of have a love-hate relationship, but they extremely respect each other. And that in some ways, Courtney Williams pushed Marina's buttons to get better things out of her. Does that make sense? To get things out of her. 30 million is crazy, but hey, he knows his value. Get what's yours. He knows his value to himself, but that doesn't mean it's the real value. That doesn't mean it's the real value. I mean, Denver's all fucked up with cap. Jokic and Murray, they have huge, monstrous contracts. And so does Aaron Gordon. Let's not get it twisted. Aaron Gordon's overpaid, probably, guys. I would say this right now. Aaron Gordon is overpaid. He is overpaid. Now, in some ways, it makes sense that Aaron Gordon is getting overpaid because he's a longtime vet. He's been in this league for quite a while, and in some ways, he has hit his stride a little bit later with the Nuggets of being at a certain level. So I can understand why they're rewarding him now. But if you ask me, Aaron Gordon's overpaid. And in some ways, his contract messes up their salary cap. Getting rid of Michael Porter and trading him for Johnson from the Nets was a smart move because Michael Porter was also very overpaid on the Nuggets. And they had to slough that contract out of there too. Now, see, they'll overpay Christian Braun. They'll overpay Patrick Watson probably. And well, they'll just, I don't know. I don't think that Denver's run exactly right. I think that they've been lucky with Jokic and how amazing he is. But otherwise, they're not doing things exactly right. And that's exemplified by the firing of Calvin Booth and Michael Malone from last season. That there was a lot of dysfunction and things they're not doing things exactly right since their championship. They haven't been, Denver. They haven't been. Yeah, Fiercely saying this. I'm sure many fans and players don't like Marina, but they got to respect her impact. Yeah. Yeah. People respect her as a player. They may not like her personality. They may think that she's a jerk. They may think that she's a diva. They may think that she's a kind of a emotional chaos. Some people, it's a weird thing. And human design, this is something that's related to this. Marina Mabry's human design, if I got a chance to look at her chart, probably has some stuff in her aura that pisses people off. There's stuff in my aura, right? I could be going to the grocery store, and basically how part of human design works is we all have auras. We know about auras, right? And that's our energy of our bodies and kind of what we emit even unconsciously. And you if you're around people within 15 feet of them, you're absorbing each other's aura. You don't even need to be touching or talking to each other. You could just be in proximity of the people, and your energy is interacting in unconscious ways, in ways that humans don't even totally understand completely scientifically at this point, but maybe will in the future. Different ones of us have different auras with our human design, and some of it is very much repellent. Some of it's very attractive. And Marina's got a very interesting human design, I'll bet, which is repellent to a lot of people because, I feel this sometimes myself because I do have a little bit of a repellent aura to some people too. And I didn't even do anything. I'll be at the grocery store just shopping and I'll get dirty looks from people sometimes. And it's really just because they get a vibe from me and they're like, yeah, I don't like that guy for some reason. They didn't talk to me. They didn't interact with me. I didn't do anything to piss them off. It's just, you know how it is. You either vibe with people or you don't. There's real science to this. And our auras are interacting with each other constantly. Like if you live in the city and you're around a lot of people all the time, you're doing aura exchange constantly, every which way. I know living in Kensington Market, I was doing a lot of aura exchange with a lot of people every single day, working at that convenience store and living in a house with like 16 roommates. It was crazy. So, it's a big change out here. Now I share the aura of a rabbit. And actually, it's kind of weird. The rabbit came and sat next to the window. I'm watching the WNBA All-Star game the other night, and I look out the window, and right outside the window in my 15 feet aura, the rabbit's sitting in it, like it's enjoying it, like it wants to be in my aura. So it's an interesting thing. So think about that. Like we all have auras, and some of us have a very attractive aura to certain people and a very repellent aura to other people. And that's kind of how you like figure out, oh, I get a bad feeling about that person, but that person seems like awesome. You seem like a really cool person. That kind of energy will tell you more about how you interact with people sometimes. Yeah, but Marina has a very interesting human design, I'll bet. Without having looked at her chart, I'll bet you she has some stuff in her profile that's very repellent that makes people naturally not like her. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, I mean, I see that. I see that, I see that. Let's see. Seymour Sandurin wants to play for Sacramento. I don't see he's obviously messed up in the head. If he wants to go play for the Kings, I mean, he's obviously got some brain damage or something, man. Beef stew hit you in practice? Did beef stew hit you in practice? Beef stew's a Grizzly now. That's another sign that the Pistons are in bad shape. That Isaiah Stewart is a Memphis Grizzly now. Yeah, don't ask me why. Yeah, why would he want to play in Sacramento? Everybody's trying to leave Sacramento right now. Everybody is. DeMar got the hell out of there. Zach LaVine wants to get out of there, but they qualified his offer. Zach LaVine don't want to be there. DeModis would want to be out there too. Nobody wants to be there, but Duren wants to be there. Maybe there's a deal to trade DeModis to Detroit for Duren. That could be possible. I could see that being worked out somehow. Yeah. He wants to light the beam. That's why he wants to light the beam. That's why he wants to do it. That's hilarious, man. That's pretty funny right there. I like that. All right, I'm going to give you Seymour another dunk for saying that Jalen Duren just wants to go to Sacramento to light the beam. That's hilarious, man. That's some childish shit. 81 on the dunk chart for Seymour. He's got 2 dunks today. That's hilarious. Shaq Lindsay saying Detroit has the money. They're just being greedy. Are they, though? Are they? Maybe they're being smart with their cap. I think that Jalen Duren's got an inflated ego. That's what the problem is here. I think they've created a monster this past season, giving him a bunch of accolades he shouldn't have gotten, honestly. They created a monster. That's right. Seymour saying Ben Wallace, Trajan Langdon, go get Collins to pair with Duran muscle inside. Zach Collins? You're talking about Zach Collins? Are we talking about Zach Collins? Are we talking about Peyton Watson? Are we talking about practice? If you're saying also Cam Reddish from Brooklyn, then Milwaukee, bet on myself and now out of the league. Is it Reddish? Forget his last name. Yeah, good on offense, but horrible on defense. Once again, I'm telling y'all, if a player comes in the league and they have been told their whole life that they're the hottest shit in the world, the reality check of the NBA is tough for egos. They'll have groups of people around them that are yes people that'll always tell them how great they are. If they don't have that one person, maybe it's a brother, maybe it's a mother, maybe it's a father, maybe it's a best friend. If they don't have that one person tethering them to reality and maybe kind of giving them the shit that they don't want to hear, they will have crazy ideas about who they are and what they're worth. I'm telling you right now, I can tell these egotists and where that kind of energy comes from. I read it. I can see it. I can see it in different players. I can see it in Jaden Bradley right now. And I don't think he understands just what he's up against. And in some ways, his ego's already written checks that his playing ability will not be able to cash. So in some ways, it's like some people need a reality check and they need to understand and be humbled. That's one of the things. People in the NBA that come to the NBA and think that they're just going to be so easy and so as it was in prep school and college, you need to be humble. You need to be humbled. In some ways, Elijah Martin got humbled last year, but I don't think he got humbled enough. As far as I'm concerned, skipping summer league and not even hanging around for the whole summer league to put in work in the gym and doing that, yeah, that's not a good look, Elijah Martin. And if your ego tells you you're above it and you didn't need to do it, you're fucking wrong. You are dead wrong. And you're going to find out. And your career will be shorter because you didn't do summer league this year. I'm going to say that right now. Your career is going to be shorter because you didn't do summer league this year, which is ridiculous that you didn't, honestly. Colin, I can understand. Colin is on his way. Colin is a very proven commodity already. Elijah Martin, you ain't done jack shit. And skipping summer league this year was very dumb, man. Very, very, very dumb. Very dumb. Yeah, let's see. Shaq Lindsay saying this. Detroit is taking a page out of Golden State, devaluing your assets to get a pick and then freeing up cap space. Well, that sounds like a dumbass way to do it because has that worked for the Warriors? The way they built their dynasty was through having this core and these guys. But even them keeping how good they are, they've done worse and worse as time goes on, keeping the team stocked around Steph Curry and Draymond Green correctly. This team is getting worse and worse. And I don't know if that strategy actually works. So why would Detroit try and mimic them? Why would they do that? It's so dumb, man. It's very, very dumb. Very, very dumb. Oh, Seymour's saying it's Cam Thomas, not Cam Reddish. That's right. That is right. Seymour, you can get another dunk for being helpful because it was Cam Thomas. Cam Thomas can score that like crazy on Brooklyn because they need him to, but he's a wash. He doesn't even make Milwaukee Bucks. It's not like Milwaukee Bucks are that much better than Brooklyn. So it's kind of interesting. It's very, very interesting. That's right. Cam Thomas is the Cam that we were talking about, not Reddish. Not Reddish. Yeah, Kuminga, Wiseman, Podzemski. There's interesting prospects that have come through Golden State, but yeah, have they been reestablishing the next generation after Curry and Draymond leave? No, they don't have anybody kind of coming up to jump in those spots. The Lakers at least have Austin Reeves and Luka with LeBron leaving, but Warriors have no future plan. You're not going to tell me Brandon Podziemski is your franchise player coming up. No, don't tell me that. You're crazy. Yeah, they have no future plan. The Warriors, it's crazy. But in some ways, this makes sense because they've ran this dynasty and this era of Curry for like almost 20 years, right? So it's like, well, when Curry leaves, it'll be very similar to Bird leaving the Celtics and retiring. The Celtics went through a really bad rebuilding kind of bad period afterwards where they were really not good for a long time until they won the championship with Garnett. So there's going to be a period of time where the Warriors are going to be a bad team just because it's the post Curry era. and they didn't really cultivate or build anything for after him, right? They tried, but all of it was failing. It was all failing. Yeah. Yeah. Fiercely saying, yes, it was Thomas, Cam Thomas. And I told y'all too last year when some people were saying we should get Cam Thomas on the Raptors, like he's a waste of time. Just trust me. And then he went to Milwaukee. He hung out there for like a month and he got waived. Yeah, that's a waste of time right there. The Bucks couldn't even use him, and we know how bad the Bucks were last year, right? They were very bad. Stargate saying this. I like Marina though. She has character. Well, that's the thing. Her aura may actually interact really well with your aura and my aura. It's just that there's a lot of people that maybe don't have the aura that interacts with Marina's aura very well. And that's natural. That's natural. Some of us may be attracted to Marina's aura because we see ourselves in her. Like she's kind of somebody who's kind of ostracized or not totally cool, or maybe even kind of like a villain to some people. In some ways, some of that energy, you may feel it yourself and see yourself in her, and that may make her more appealing to you. And some people may be like, yeah, she stands for looks for like somebody I absolutely hate, and I just get vibes from her that make me like not like her. I just tell she's awful to be around in person. She's probably just complaining and whining and crying all the time. Some people will look at her and think that, especially because of the way she handles herself on the court with the refs. That some people will see that, right? Yeah, I'm with you too. I'm a Marina person for sure. I get her. I get her because in some ways the way she is, I don't know. It'd be very interesting if her human design chart had some similarities to mine. Then it might make sense, why in some ways I'm like, oh, I'm a Marina person. I'm a Marina person. That's right. Yeah, Fiercely saying beam is brighter than Duran. The beam is brighter than Duran. Yeah, yeah. I mean, this is silly, man. I don't understand why anybody would really want to go to Sacramento. I don't understand this. Why would anybody like want to go there? Is he from Sacramento? Is he from California? Is that part of the reason why? That may be why. That may be why. Stargate saying, I don't see how Detroit is Detroit. I don't see how Detroit being good this season, like some of the pundits are saying. I think they take a dip. All of these people have them over the Raptors in the East. I know that's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, I'm serious. I don't think Detroit's gonna. I think they're gonna be a play-in team at best. They'll be a play-in team this year, and if not, out of the playoffs this year, because the East is upticking. We've got to factor in Indiana this year. We got to factor in Indiana. We're not falling out of the playoffs. No, we're going to be in the playoffs, God willing, with health. Boston could take a stumble. I could see Boston being a play-in team, if not out of the playoffs. The same thing for Detroit. But I can see Indiana rising out of not being in the playoffs this year and being either a playoff team or a play-in team. So, I can see this. I can see this coming this season. And there's a couple teams on the way down. Milwaukee's going to be a complete mess. They're going to be probably one of the worst teams in the East. Brooklyn will be down there with them. Charlotte's on their way up. Charlotte could be very dangerous this year. Miami, I don't totally believe in them, like I've said. So, yeah, each team. Well, I'll do an Eastern Conference preview closer to the season when we finally see the dust settle with all the moves and finalizing the Kawhi Leonard trade. I'll probably do an Eastern Conference preview like I always do every year, and I'll rank all the Eastern teams as how I see them for the season coming up. Yeah, shots fired for sure. For sure. I will shoot some fires out of my mouth with hot fire, spitting hot fire. Yeah, like Koopa Troopa and the Final Castle on Mario Brothers. Rah! Rah! You better jump over me and grab that axe. That's right. If you're going to beat me, Mario. That's right. Rah! Spit fire. Stargate saying, I'm surprised the Lakers didn't try and hold on to Rui. Yeah, I mean, he kind of did seem like one of their pieces they wanted to hold on to going forward with Luka and Reeves, but maybe they just wanted to upgrade, or maybe they didn't feel like he was worth the money that he was probably going to get next. I don't know. I don't even remember where Hashimura went. He did leave their team, though. Where did he go again? I don't even know where he went. I see. I'm not paying attention to everything. Oh, super fan Mo's in the house. Awesome, Mo. Thank you for the message the other day. Monique is having a very difficult summer, guys. Mo's been going through a lot of different changes in the last year with her family and her life, and different issues that have come up. And I want everybody to kind of put out a special prayer and thoughts for Monique and the things that she has to deal with here and there with things that are changing for her. And we always are thinking about you, and we love you so much, Mo. And I'm so happy to see you in the chat with us this morning. I know you're watching me later on, and sometimes getting to the chat live is just not part of your schedule because you got things going on and stuff like that. But I value you so much as a friend. I love you so much, and I know you're a warrior and you're tough and you're a fighter, and whatever things you face, you will get this done, and you will be gracefully doing great. Most such an insider. She's let me know about certain things that are happening with the Raptors organization and stuff. Some of it I can't talk to you guys about. And I appreciate Monique so much for being a longtime friend of mine. And like I said, guys, let's think about Mo and send her good energy and send her good, positive feelings in all kinds of ways to try and help her through a tough summer. She's had a really, really tough time in the last 6 months. So, she's our family and we love her so much. We love you, Mo. And I'm so happy to see you here. Go Tempo. Miss you dearly. Aw. Well, we're always here for you. And like I said, you can call me or text me anytime you want to. I'll be there for you. Okay. But yeah, we think about you every day. And even if your presence isn't here with us every day, Mo, you're always here with our hearts for sure. For sure. And I know you're watching me later. I know you do. I know you do. Let's see. Seymour saying John Collins at the 4, Duran at the 5 is the Ben Wallace Trajan Langdon plan going forward for the Pistons muscle inside. This is hilarious. I think that John Collins as Trajan Langdon is pretty good right there. Both lob threats for Cade. Yeah, see, I don't have any respect for Trajan Langdon. So, and I don't have any respect for John Collins either. I mean, is this your big acquisition? Is John Collins? Oh my gosh, this is gonna crash just like John Collins as a plane in the slam dunk competition. This is what this is. I mean, are you the Wright brothers? I mean, that's what he did. He recreated the Wright brothers crashing Kitty Hawk at Kitty Hawk. Yeah, that's what that looked like. You guys remember when he did the dunk competition and he wore some crazy ass plane thing around him and it like fell apart in the middle of his dunk? Yeah, I mean, in some ways, John Collins is not a needle pusher for Detroit. In fact, that's backtracking from Tobias Harris. This is bad. They lost Harris. They lost Stewart. This team is going to be bad. I'm telling you right now, Detroit is going to be bad. And Cade, and unlike Scotty, is going to be questioning whether his front office and the team that he's the franchise player for is actually doing good work to help him get to what he wants to get to. I'm going to predict that right now is that Cade Cunningham, this may actually be the first year where Cade's like, you guys don't know what you're doing in the front office. You guys are idiots. What are you doing? Seriously. These guys that I've been playing with these last few years, like Tim Hardaway Jr. and Dennis Schroeder, and well, I won't say Malik Beasley, but Beef Stew and Tobias, they're gone. Like these were my dudes. And we're not building. We're getting to a certain point, and then you're destroying. Yeah, I don't understand the Pistons this offseason. I really don't. I really, really don't. Randolph's here. Good morning to Randolph Phillips. Beloved, blessings, beloved Raptor freaks, fam. Some people are so broken that they will do everything to break you by trying to convince you that you are broken like them. Wow. Wow, that's deep stuff. I mean, I could see this. I can see this, this in some ways has to do with the aura stuff too. Is that like, you can feel bad auras. You can feel like people that are not good intentioned. You can feel that. There's certain parts of our body that are like an animal's instinct. Like an animal like the bunny in the yard may see me and they don't get scared of me because they know me and they know my scent and they just know me from being around me most of the time. But if a new person comes in, they'll get the vibes from them and they'll take off. Yeah, you want to watch vibes. You really should pay attention to how people make you feel. Even if it's an innocuous, no like emotion exchange. You deal with people in stores, you deal with people in public, they will give you energy unconsciously and feel it and really get in touch with wait, this person did not make me feel good. This person was awesome, and they excited me, and they actually inspired me. Yeah, there's this kind of interaction. So be careful with this. And one of the ways to suss this out and make sure that you're not around somebody who's negative for you, like what Randolph is describing, is to feel that and really check with it. Some people don't actually look at that or pay attention to it, but the natural body will tell you the vibes, and they'll tell you, like, no, this person gave me bad icks. Like, no, you know what? They were smiling, they were nice. And for every reason, I would think that this person would be a cool person and nice, but something's not right. And I've got a weird feeling about them. Listen to that feeling. Listen to that feeling. That's your intuition. And a lot of that comes from your spleen, but it'll tell you it's a very animalistic thing that the animals have in the first place. They can sense who's risky and who isn't. They can sense it. That's right. Blessings to Phyllis family, all the Raptor Freak families. That's right. Don't let broken people try to break you too. Yeah. Seymour saying this. I pray for a healthy Jakob Pertl. It's a big key for our season. Yes, it's very helpful and will be very like it will be a key. Yeah. Yeah. Pray for Yak's back. That's right. Yak's back is number one on the prayer list in a lot of ways. Yes. Stargate saying that Rui went to the Clippers. Hashimura went to the Clippers. That's where he went. Seriously? That's where he went. That's interesting. Seymour saying this Detroit was not mentioned as a top 10 team by Bleacher Report. That makes sense. That makes sense. They're going to drop. They're going to drop. I can see it. I can see it. Fiercey's putting Monique on blast. I love it. I love it. And we see Monique's emoticon is still on the channel. I love that. Of course, it's on the channel. That's right. Prayers for Superfan. We love her so much. Stargate saying ESPN has Detroit at number 6 in the power rankings. Well, ESPN has not calculated the Kawhi trade correctly yet. I think they still have us at like 15. But they are saying, well, this will change if the Kawhi train is finalized. So I see us getting launched up there. Once again, we don't care about Bleacher Report or ESPN and what they think. We do not. We do not. That's right. Seymour thinks that's interesting. Superfan Mo saying Patrick Engelbrecht went to Dallas with Masai too via Mark Stein. I forget who Patrick Engelbrecht is. Like, who is he? Like, what does he do? From what team? Was he? He wasn't on the Raptors, was he? Who's Patrick Engelbrecht? I don't remember who he is. Like, he's probably some insider or somebody that I just don't know. You know, he did take a few people with him. And one of the people that it looks like Masai took to Dallas with him is Jeff Landicho. Jeff Landicho, the creator of Open Gym, and the guy who works for Masai under Giants of Africa, like he has a really good working relationship with Masai Ujiri. So he's always doing the video projects and the production for Masai. So it would make sense that Jeff is doing things for Masai and the Mavericks now. Like that's one person I think that went with Masai was Jeff Landicho. You know, Garrett Temple's gone there too. But I don't know if Garrett Temple actually a Masai guy? Well, he's with Masai again. That's interesting. That's interesting. Stargate saying Raptors at 13. Yeah, that's around where I saw us on ESPN's ranking. But they'll move us up. They'll move us up once the deal's finalized. G saying this Cleveland barely beat the Raptors in the playoff series, and that was without Kawhi. No way they should be ahead. Yeah, there's teams that should not be ranked above the Raptors no matter what this season coming up. Cleveland, Atlanta, Detroit, Indiana. I can see the case. Boston's another one. I can see the case where they put New York and Philly above us, but everybody else should not be above us. Nobody else should. The defending champs, sure. LeBron to the Philly with Jaylen Brown, sure. But we should be third out of all the Eastern teams in the rankings and any proper ranking for this year. And that includes Miami. We should be above Miami. We should be above Indiana. We should be above Atlanta. We should be above Detroit, Orlando, all these teams. Boston even, because Boston's dipping this year too. So yeah, that's kind of where I was. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. He was in our trivia for front office trivia we did like a month or so ago. Patrick Engelbrecht. He's the head of scouting. Okay, so Masai took his head of scouting with him to Dallas. Yeah, I mean, that is he probably has worked with Masai for a long, long time. That makes sense. Thank you. Stargate. Stargate's the one who said Patrick was the head of scouting. That's right. That was in my own trivia. You should know that, Lex. I remember the name, but that's what he was, the head of scouting. That makes sense. That makes sense. Let's see. Mr. Greg saying the Raptors were also without Quickly and lost Ingram during the series. And when Ingram was playing, he wasn't healthy. Yes, yes, and yes. And the other thing I like to remind people about the Cleveland 7-game series is we spotted them 2 games at the beginning of it because we didn't know what the fuck we were doing. If you think about it from that perspective too, the second game in particular, we should have won. That game was totally up for the taking, and we flopped and we kind of lost it when we should have won that game. If we'd won game 2 of that series, we would have won that series. But because we were so young and they were still feeling the energy of the playoffs and what it's like, there was an orientation couple games. So we did spot them 2 games at the beginning of the series. There's all kinds of different ways we could have won this. Trust me. And Cleveland shouldn't have won. But, we had to get there and see what it was all about and get orientation. Well, they know now. Jacoby and Jamal know now, and they coming. They coming. That's a great point by Mr. Greg. Seymour saying this. It says he was director of global scouting for Toronto, now Dallas. Yeah. Yeah, I do remember that now. That's so bad. I should have remembered that from the front office trivia because I did all the unknown people we don't ever talk about, including Patrick. He was one of the questions on a Raptor Freak Tuesday trivia. And I should have remembered that. I remember the name. I was like, wait, where have I seen that name? That's when he was the head of all of our scouting, but now he's the head of the Dallas scouting. I'm sure Bobby and them have somebody who stepped up, somebody who's been involved with our team already that's probably stepping into that spot, and it'll be fine. We'll have next man up or next woman up, Let's see. Kaloy saying not NG, everyone? NG. What does that mean? NG. Oh, is that like the sun? And then you're saying morning or something like that? That's weird, man. Patrick was director of scouting for the Raps. That's right. Yeah. Director of scouting is the correct title. Yeah. Chloe saying there were reports of altercation between Beef Stew and the coaching staff. That's why they traded him for peanuts. Oh, wow. So this was like Dylan Brooks and saying there under no circumstances this player will play for us this year. With Memphis Grizzlies said that about Dylan Brooks, and it was a silly thing, and they really paid for it, didn't they? Okay. Well, that's weird. I mean, Stu's been on that team for like 10 years, right? And now it got to this point. I wonder if it was some issue with JB Bickerstaff. We know Isaiah Stewart is mercurial and he has a temper. And he is somebody who's a bowdy about getting rowdy. So maybe he got a little rowdy with some of the staff and there's a rift and it's irreconcilable differences. Okay. I would guess it's JB Bickerstaff. I would guess that. That's right. I would guess that. That's right. Autocomplete. That's what made you do the thing. All right, let's do straight goods on Canadian goods. Yesterday, I went to Uxbridge and I got me some food at the drive-thru at Swiss Chalet. That's right. Of course, we got to do Swiss Chalet at some point. Proudly Canadian for many years. Swiss Chalet's done some weird stuff. They brought in the ribs. They've done all kinds of crazy stuff. In some ways, I feel like they've gone downhill, but they are still a Canadian company. And, there ain't nothing wrong with that. It's good to be Canadian. So I'm eating a little leftover chicken from Swiss Chalet. I don't have any of the Swiss Chalet sauce, but I'll just eat a little chicken on the show. Why not? A little breakfast. Enjoying some Swiss Chalet. Maybe y'all want to go get some Swiss Chalet now. They have a good combo with ribs and chicken right now that you can get at Swiss Chalet. But yeah, straight goods on Canadian goods. Swiss Chalet. Why not? Swiss Chalet. It's a little dry, but it's all right. I mean, I don't know. Swiss Chalet is Swiss Chalet. It's overpriced and gone downhill, but it's still Canadian. So it's a restaurant I eat at. So. Harvey's is the same way. They sucked all the goodness out of Harvey's and made it more expensive. Harvey's was so good in the 80s. Oh my gosh, Harvey's was so good in the 80s. So was Swiss Chalet. Swiss Chalet was really good right up until, honestly, Swiss Chalet got messed up around the pandemic when people started doing DoorDash and nobody came to the restaurant anymore because they catered all their business to just making it there and sending it out with the drivers instead of the dining experience. And the quality of their food went down after the pandemic, and the value of their meals was, man. Yeah, you know what I'm saying though. You know what I'm saying though. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, a little eating break there. Straight goods on Canadian goods. Swiss Chalet. Why not? Why not? Let's see. Kaloy saying Detroit lost that toughness. It's like they lost their toughness and they lost their unks. Like they don't have. It's so weird. As soon as you look like you're a leader and you're older on the team, they get rid of you. Tobias Harris. Well, your loss, Detroit, is San Antonio's gain. And Tobias Harris is going to probably win a championship next year, maybe in the next couple years at some point with Wemby. Yeah. Yeah. You should have valued Tobias, just like Philadelphia should have valued him too. Seriously. Let's see. Seymour saying this. Champagny was the player saying that Sunning, laugh out loud. Lex hated it, but the immaturity showed with him and Banton and Harper. Harper? Oh, Ron Harper Jr.? Well, the people that were most guilty of sunning people was definitely number one, Justin Champagny, Delano Banton number two, and Christian Coloco number three. Those three guys were the ones who were sunning people, and it was stupid. It was so dumb. There were a couple other people that sunned people, but it made more sense because they were rookie. They were not rookies, and they were established vets. It's kind of different if like Pascal Siakam sunned you, right? Than Justin Champagny. But apparently, Siakam and Justin have a very close bond. And Siakam's a mentor to Justin Champagny. But yeah, you got to be careful. You know, you come in the league, you think you're hot shit. You got the bag. I'm in the NBA. I got style. I'm a badass. You can fuck yourself up with your ego a couple different ways. A couple different ways. You can see the tale of two Champagnys. You can see Justin, what's happened to him in his career, and you can see what's happened with Julian. Julian's gotten taken to very, very much by the San Antonio Spurs, and he just is on cloud nine playing for the Spurs and being a part of such a huge thing. And he is flourishing as a starter for the Spurs, which is something that I didn't have in my bingo cards. No. When I saw the Champagny twins in their rookie year, I definitely thought Justin was the better one. And I didn't even think that Julian was going to hang around the league for very long, but he has done the opposite. He has flourished, established himself, and he's gotten a big contract now, and he is a true starter and a very important piece for the San Antonio Spurs right now. So that's interesting. Yeah. Yeah. That signing stuff, nobody needs that in the league. Seriously. It was so dumb, man. It was so dumb. And some people may have thought it was funny, was immature, and it was wrong to steal Jeff Doughton's moment when Justin Champagny barged in on his interview and said, Jeff's my son. Dude, this is a dude you're competing with on the team, and you just humiliated him on one of maybe the 5 interviews he gets in his career post-game because he did well. This man just won the game, and you're over here calling this guy, yo, I just want to tell you guys, this guy's my son. This guy's my son. Okay, all right. He's your son. What does that even mean? Is that just some sort of dumb kind of fad or something? Hey, this is my son. This is my Beaver son, Justin Bieber. Justin, you are my son. Yeah, you're okay with that, aren't you? Yeah, because you know you're my son. That's right. I can't even tell you how naturally that happened scientifically or anything like that. But you're my son. You're my damn son because you make dams, and you're Justin Bieber. Yeah, yeah. This is my son, Justin Bieber. I'm gonna hug him right now. I love you, Justin. You are my son, Justin Bieber. That's right. This is the inspiration for this puppet. Is what we're talking about right now. Is the Justin Bieber story about Justin and Delano sunning people. I got sick of it, so I made a beaver puppet and I started sunning him instead. Yeah, that's just how it is. All right, go back to sleep. I'm sorry I woke you up. No, it's not winter. It's still summer. You need to go get rest though, because you know what? I might need you to make some dams before the floods next year with all the snow melting. All right, so go back to sleep. All right. All right, good morning, good night. Go to sleep, Justin. Go back to your damn Beaver Den. It's a den. That's right. It's a den. That's right. It's a den. KT saying Swisher Chalet is awesome. I'll put that sauce on anything. I actually think I'd put that sauce as an ice cream topper. That's wild talk, bro. That's wild talk. You would put that nutmeg smelling chestnut, weird ass, put it in the same porcelain little bowls like they put the hand wash in, Swiss chalet sauce. You would put that on ice cream. You are wilding out, man. You are wilding out, man. You are crazy. No, no, you need to talk to your wife. If you tell your wife you're going to do that, she's going to tell you no. Don't do that, Kareem. What are you doing? You're not a spring chicken. You're going to mess up your digestive system with sweet and savory. What are you doing? You're going to put the nutmeg sauce, the Swiss chalet nutmeg sauce on your mint chocolate chip ice cream? What are you doing? What are you doing? This is crazy. This is crazy. In some ways, for the hilarity and the weirdness of this, Kareem's getting a dunk for something weird. He just said he put Swiss chalet sauce on ice cream. You're wild, man. You are wild. In some ways, I don't know. I don't know if I can fuck with that, man. I don't know if I can fuck with that. 87 on the dunk charts for Kareem, man. That may have been the weirdest dunk you ever got, for pledging that you would eat ice cream with Swiss chalet sauce drizzled on it, like it's chocolate syrup or something like that. Oh, put that. You better try this now. You're going to see it's a mistake. You try this, and you know it's going to be a mistake. You know it's going to be a mistake if you do that. You know it will be, man. You know it will be. Fiercely saying Swiss chalet sauce is solid. You know, I used to like it, but it's changed. The formula, I don't know what it is. There is definitely nutmeg in it. Like there's some sort of nutmeg or a chestnut or something like that in there. It's a nutty taste to it. It's weird. I don't know. I don't know. It's probably proprietary. They won't tell you the exact recipe. It's like the Colonel's spices for the chicken at KFC. They won't tell you probably exactly what's there. Yeah. Seymour saying it's 9 a.m. here. Swiss Chalet ain't open yet. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Well, don't get mad. Don't get mad at me because I'm eating some Swiss Chalet in the morning. Chicken breast. Swiss chalet. Don't get mad at me. Don't hate. Don't hate on me eating my meal from last night that's cold and been sitting out all night. I should have brought the Swiss chalet sauce. It's actually in the house still. I could have brought it. I should have brought it. Yeah, I see more saying Lex is waxing it. Yeah. Champagne is starting over. Tobias is too expensive. Is Champagne on Detroit? Is that what you're telling me? Is Justin Champagne? No, wait. No, Champagne is starting over Tobias. Too expensive. Oh, yeah. Julian is starting over Tobias. That's what you mean. Yeah. In some ways, Tobias Harris is like a new Harrison Barnes for the Spurs. In some ways, that kind of role. Because Harrison Barnes was a starter for the Spurs a couple years ago, but now he's coming off the bench. And same thing with Keldon Johnson. I mean, they've got a lot of guys. They can't start everybody. Everybody who starts, well, they're rookie of the year kind of people. You got Wemby, Fox. You got Harper. You got Castle. You know, these guys are guys that were going for rookie of the year or did get rookie of the year. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's right. Fiercely loves seeing Justin Bieber on the show. Yeah, he doesn't make appearances very often these days, does he? No, he doesn't. In some ways, I don't want to overuse him. It's like it's his sparring thing. It's a sparringly thing. It's not all the time. In some ways, if I did it too much, I might be Sesame Street at some point. I might turn into Sesame Street, and there may be too many Muppets taking over my show all of a sudden. And all of a sudden, you're like, "Whoa, this used to be the Raptor Freak show, but now it's just Sesame Street. It's just a puppet show." You show up, and I've got like 2 puppets on each hand, and I'm not even on the screen. And they're like, "Hey, it's the Raptor Freak show. And Lex isn't here today. We're going to do the show today instead." I'm gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, Lex, what are you doing?" He's trying to cater to a younger audience. I guess this is what he's trying to do there. See, seriously. Kareem saying this, I miss Delano. I know he's a knucklehead, but I think being 6'8" in his thin frame as a point guard was a great skill set. I wish his career was different. Delano is still okay. He's really in that kind of spot like AJ Lawson. It really is like it, but he's younger than AJ, so he's got a couple more years before it's like tough decision. I'm going to Europe. This past year for Banton on Texas Legends was very good. He was one of the best G League players in the G League. He didn't get called up very often. I think he did a stint with the Clippers last year where came up on a 10-day there, but he's not a two-way. He's a guy who's just playing in the G League and he's hoping he gets called up. It's just how it is. He played with Jamarian Sharp last year, and they were quite a 1-2 punch in some ways with length and defense. Like Banton and Sharp were quite a combo for Texas Legends last year. So, he's still around. He's still fighting to try and make the league. And Delano's story and his path is his own path. I wish his career was different too. I don't know if things could have gone different for him in Toronto where things would have worked out better. But I don't know. I mean, in some ways, once again, we don't know the things that may be holding him back internally or personality wise completely because we only see what, is seen on TV and on the court. But there could very well be because, in some way, I could get where Delano's kind of a troll. Like he may be kind of one of these guys that's kind of like making fun of people all the time and thinks it's funny and that's bonding. Like I kind of got that feel from him in his time with the Raptors when he was a rookie around people. Like he may have been like a bully to an extent, like talking shit about people all the time. Oh man, you're not that good. I can beat you. In fact, I remember him, and this was so ridiculous and so silly. I can remember interviews with Delano when he was a rookie on the Raptors talking shit about Pascal and saying that he was better than Pascal Siakam and that he beat his ass in practice. That may be a window to what the problem is with Banton right there is. The man literally said that he was better than the franchise player in his rookie year and that he was beating his ass in practice in a public interview. And he thought he was joking and just kind of having fun with it. Bro, don't do that. You're putting shade on Siakam for no reason. Yo, I did a 3-point shootout with Siakam in practice and I kicked his ass. I'm a way better 3-point shooter than Siakam. That's the kind of shit he was saying. I don't know. Maybe that gives you a little idea of some of the problems with Delano Banton. Yeah. Kaloy saying Justin also had that free me tweet and then Raptors released him right away. Yeah, I mean, whatever. I mean, the guy's from Pitt. In some ways, him coming to Toronto, well, he's just, you know what? You should be happy you got a foot in the door in the NBA with Toronto as an undrafted player. But I don't think he really respected the team or the organization correctly. That's part of the problem. He was kind of old school for that. There was a lot of players in the Raptors history, especially in the early years, that didn't really respect the team or the city or the country. They were just coming to get a paycheck, and they just happened to play for the Canadian expansion team. There's still going to be players that come here that don't totally respect our team and our franchise and our country. There's a lot that do now, which is fantastic, but there's still a small percentage of guys that won't. And I have a feeling there's a couple of those guys on our team right now, and it's annoying me because I can feel their energy and I can tell they don't totally respect being a Raptor. Alan Graves does. And you know what? Let's say happy 20th birthday to Alan Graves. He's ingratiated himself with the Raptors culture and being a Raptor very immensely. He's all about it. And there's no denying the authenticity of Alan Graves and how much he's taken to Raptors culture, being a part of the team and the season that's coming up. So happy 20th birthday to Alan Graves, guys. That's right. It is his birthday today. The Louisiana product, our 19th pick in the draft out of Santa Clara. And he had a very good summer league. So we're excited to see more from Alan. Now that he's not a teenager anymore, he's actually 20 years old as of today. So happy birthday to him. Also, we're going to say happy birthday to former Raptors assistant coach who passed away a couple years ago. He would have been 99 today, and that is Bob Kloppenberg. Bob Kloppenberg worked with the Raptors at the very end of his basketball career in 1997 to 1998. He was an assistant coach. I believe he was assistant coach under Butch Carter. I believe that's where he was. But yeah, he was with the Raptors for that season and at the very tail end of a career that spanned from the 1950s almost all the way to the 2000s. So happy birthday to the dearly departed Bob Kloppenberg, who died in 2024 at the age of 96. Yeah, but he would be 99 today, turning 100 next year. So yeah, that's a big birthday right there. Yeah, yeah. Stargate knows who I'm talking about. I won't read your comment. Y'all can look at it. That's who I'm talking about. Both those guys exactly is who I'm talking about. That's right. That's right. That's who I'm talking about right there. Let's see. All right. What else y'all are saying in here? Seymour saying Swiss Chalet and ice cream. That is crazy. Dead. Dead. That is crazy. Adriana's here. Good morning to Adriana, our commissioner of trivia. I appreciate Adriana and what she does for the channel. Don't be an Ernie, is what she's saying. And that means don't be waking up people in the middle of the night like Ernie and Bert. And Ernie's cool. He's happy-go-lucky, but he is a destructive force. Let's just be honest here. If you really go back and reflect on the character Ernie on Sesame Street, he is somebody who is not caring and not considerate of other people. He just goes and does chaotic things, and then he apologizes later, or he doesn't even apologize. He just laughs. In some ways, the influence of Ernie on young kids may have been chaotic, because maybe that's why. Did anybody study that from the public teachers school council for children, or whatever, the children's television workshop network, or whatever Sesame Street was making the show? Didn't they study the influence of Ernie on people, on young kids, for being reckless and maybe and inconsiderate? Maybe just being a little bit too wild, and in some ways, I guess some of those characteristics are good, but there has to be a balance here. And maybe they should have shown real world repercussions for the crimes of Ernie. That's right. Bert, he's a curmudgeon. Yeah, Bert's an asshole. Bert is somebody who has a low patience, and he does freak out and gets mad and crashes out like Marina. But how much was that instigated by the chaos that Ernie started in the first place? That's what I'll ask everybody. This has become a hot topic on the Raptor Freak channel recently, the archetypes of Bert and Ernie from Sesame Street. Yeah, that's right. Don't be an Ernie is what Adriana's saying. Words of wisdom from Adriana. Blessings to Adriana. And Adriana, that's right, for her words of wisdom today. Don't be an Ernie. That's right. We got a 3-shot of words of wisdom today. Seymour saying Dave Jorger signs with Denver assistant coach position. All right, this is not huge news, and it's not really that interesting. Not really that interesting. This is small moves, small potatoes. Old head coach for Sacramento and Memphis. Yeah, he was a fill-in coach when people got fired. That's what he was. He was an interim coach for when people got fired. He wasn't really a coach. He was just somebody who had to step up when people got fired. That's what it is right there. Yeah. Yeah, you get the same vibe from those two guys too. Yeah, like they're above things, or they're just not totally with it. I mean, they're really not in positions to be like this. That's what I would say right now. If anybody has an ear to this channel that's in the camp of Martin and Bradley on the Raptors, understand you guys are in no position to think you're all that in a bag of chips above being on the Raptors. You really aren't. And if you know what, if you guys do go to another team and you do very, very well, so be it. But seriously, you don't want to go to another team necessarily, because Toronto is a very good place to develop and get a path. The path has been blazed by those before you, and there's a track record. You go to another team, there's no guarantee you'll be spinning your wheels or maybe wasting your time, and you'll be bounced out of the league in a couple years anyway. So yeah, some of these people, they just have a really weird ego. In some ways, I could say Martin's very Americanized and very much kind of probably got this weird attitude about Canada versus the United States. And that's part of the ego reckoning he's had to make in the last year. He's like, oh my gosh, I play for the Canadian team. In some ways, he probably wasn't totally thrilled about that. And in some ways, he still probably hasn't totally embraced it. And that's what I would say, Elijah Martin, Jaden Bradley. You guys maybe should be more like Alan Graves or Scotty Barnes and act like you're excited to be here. Because in some ways, I don't get those vibes from you guys. And if you're Javon Freeman liberating us and saying, well, this is great for now until I move on to the next place, well, be careful what you ask for. You may ask for a very short NBA career, or even if any kind of NBA career at all. There's nothing guaranteed for Bradley for sure. There's 1 year guaranteed for Martin, but after that, all bets are off. And this year could very well be a year where Elijah Martin sits in purgatory for the whole entire year. And because he feels like he's too good for 905, he doesn't play at 905, but he doesn't play on the Raptors either. And he just wastes away on the bench, and he doesn't get the second year of his contract because he wasn't like Jonathan Mobo last year, who was like, wherever you guys want me to go, I'll go and I'll play. If he's being selective and he's being kind of like, you know what, I did 905 last year, I really don't think I need to do 905 this year. Well, you might just shoot yourself in the foot and fuck up your whole career that way. Seriously. Because I'm going to tell you right now, Elijah Martin, there's no regular rotation minutes for you on the Raptors this year. We're jammed up. And if you think you're going to go above and beyond and show some sort of something that'll make you get in the rotation, I would take that bet. I don't see it happening this year. I don't see it happening. So 905 is your best friend. And honestly, missing the opportunity to go to Summer League was a fatal mistake. I really do believe that. It was a bad mistake for Grady last year. That's for sure. That's for sure. That's right. Yeah, Monique's bringing up news from a couple days ago that we're on top of things here, Mo. We did talk about AJ Lawson going to Baskonia, following the footsteps of Eugene Omoruyi, Marquise Noel, and Kobe Simmons, who all won a championship with that team last year. And well, Eugene probably talked to AJ personally and told him, yo, it's lit. Come on over and come play. I don't know if Omoruyi might still be on that team. So AJ Lawson might have a Canadian buddy there already to show him the ropes of playing in Spain for Baskonia. Baskonia is a very good team that wins a lot. So Lawson will be feeling good from winning. He's probably going to get to play a lot and he'll excel, and he's going to get paid a lot too, I'll bet. So yeah, we talked about AJ going over there. He's done a welcome video in the last day saying hi to the Baskonia fans and how he's excited about getting over there and starting to play for them in their league over there. So yeah, we did cover this. That's right. That's right. Let's see what else is on my tabs for today. Let's see. Is there any breaking news? There usually isn't. I don't know why I even check, but I should. I should check just in case. Game day. Tempo are back at it. That's what I'm seeing here with Yusketa on the ad in the middle there. We did the birthdays. I guess we're going to the classic card now. I guess that's where we're at right there. Yeah. Most saying W stream, W vibes. Keep at it always, Lex. Raptor Freak Crew strong forever. Just helping Lex limit the comments. Stream timing has been great lately. Awesome. I appreciate that. Yeah, I've been getting it right around 2 hours. There was a Lexathon the other day where I did do 3, but I've been pretty good about nailing my stream time right around 2 hours. And that has been a goal for a couple of years now to try and tighten it up and get it right there. Of course, I did riff on Swiss Chalet sauce on ice cream, and Justin Bieber made an appearance, and we did talk about Bert and Ernie for a bit. So we did extend the time a little bit. So here we go. Here's the classic card of the day. Please give me the full name answer on the classic card. This is weird, man. There's like it looks like there's a different player on the back of the card than on the front of the card. That's Trent Tucker trying to guard the player, if you want a time frame. Trent Tucker, a low-key cult classic legend of Knicks history. Jarrett Jack. This is way before Jarrett Jack. Jarrett Jack is Chris Bosh era. This is in the late 80s, early 90s, this card. And I'm going to say something else. This player actually, I believe, was actually on the Raptors. No, wait, this isn't the guy I thought it was. Oh, that's who this is. All right, this is a tough one. I actually thought this was an original Raptor, but it's not an original Raptor. Jarrett Jack's not the right guess. I would say, all right, you've had a guess in. His last name is the character who said more. Please, sir, may I have some more? I think he said that. Was that in that? His last name is the same as the first name of an original Raptor who has the same body type as Frank Mitchell of the Scarborough Shooting Stars. So that should give you his last name. That should give you his last name. And his first name is the same as what's a good one for this? Has the same first name as the main character actor of Breaking Bad. He has the same first name as the main character of Breaking Bad, the actor, not the character. The actor's name of the main character on Breaking Bad. He has the same first name, and his last name is as I said, the same as the first name of an original Raptor who Frank Mitchell of the Scarborough Shooting Stars is reminiscent of. So yeah, that looks like Ron Harper Sr. A little bit, yeah, because Ron Harper Sr. did have a shaved head. He plays the same position as Ron Harper Sr. So it's not a horrible guess, super fan Mo. Although I don't think Ron Harper Sr. ever played for the Sixers. So, and Stargate Stan Slug, this one's yours, bro. Brian Williams. That's a good guess, Cass. You've got the right first name. The last name is not exactly right. Thomas Williams is what Fiercey's saying. No, Williams is not the right last name. Think about this. All right, I'll say it again. The last name is the first name of the original Raptor, who Frank the Tank Mitchell of Scarborough Shooting Stars has the same body type. And I've compared Frank Mitchell to this original Raptor many times on the show. So the first name is right. There you go. Kaz figured it out. Oliver, Brian Oliver Miller. That's right. So Kaz is going to get the classic card of the day. Brian Cranston, Oliver Miller. Those were the two other names. And Brian Oliver is the name of the player. Yeah, the clues got Kaz there. So yeah, you're going to get it. It's a 200-point card because it was difficult. A little bit more difficult. So Trucker Kaz is getting the classic card of the day, Brian Oliver, and 200 points added to his point total. I'll go ahead and live update it and go ahead and tell you the standings after this. I think Kaz will move up a bit. We'll just have to see where exactly he is in the hierarchy of the Raptor Freak trivia totals. Let's see. Kaz is... Come on now. All right. He's at the bottom. You just started out. He's only got 70 points, but he's going to jump ahead of 3 people with this answer. He's going to jump ahead of Mr. Greg, Kareem Thomas, and Kaloy, and he's going to be right behind Isaac. 270 points. You had 70 points before. You got 200 now. So, Kaz, you've jumped up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ninth in the Raptor Freak trivia total. Slug Deezy still on top with 2,100. That's where we're at with that. Yeah, Brian Oliver. That's right. Oh, and Fiercey's making me remind to do your fantasy lineups and Cass. Yeah, I'm going to take you to Woodshed if you're not careful. So get your lineup set up there. I've got a really good start, and I have a really good team. Yeah, really, really good team. Yeah, Brian Shaw, Thomas Oliver. No. Thanks for the clues. You got it, Kaz. That's right. You don't see the answer. That's because in some ways people have blocked you. Let's see. WNBA fantasy lineups. Yep. Hit the live slug. Yeah, Brian Oliver. Yeah, Lex, you're my pick to win this year for fantasy WNBA. I'm trying. I mean, that's why I was saying earlier I have a lot of Lynx players on my team. So in some ways, the Tempo win tonight, I win because the Tempo won, and I love the Tempo. But if the Lynx win, I'm probably winning fantasy-wise. So it's like I got covered both. Yeah, Kaz is saying Jessica Shepard was a home run pick, and you have Nafisa back. I know. I was, when I did that draft pick of Collier, I had to factor in that she was going to be missing a part of the season. And I was thinking, she's value because I got her later in the draft. And she's going to be really good for the stretch run. She's going to be very, very good for the stretch run. Like Collier coming in now is going to really make things good. But yeah, checking in with the fantasy. I am beating Kaz 430 to 230 right now. Meredith's beating James. Kareem's winning his matchup. Fiercey's winning her matchup. And Cool Cat's winning her matchup so far. But yeah, there's a full slate of games tonight. So definitely make sure you get your lineup set tonight. Because there's a lot of games and a lot of people playing right there. Yeah, Jessica Shepard It's funny because I have a lot of former Lynx players along with Lynx players. Like Shepard was really known for Minnesota stuff, right? But now she's on Dallas. So yeah, she's been fantastic. She's been a double-double machine. And it's really interesting that she had not been an all-star until this year. I'm actually shocked that Jessica Shepard had not made an all-star team until this year. I'm very shocked. It may be that that Lynx team was so stacked and there were other people just getting more of a shine around her then. All right, we'll go over things really fast on the way out. We'll get done in 2.5. The injuries for the Tempo tonight. Brittany is out for sure. Isabel is questionable, and I'm leaning towards possibly Isabel's not going to play because she did not practice yesterday. Kiki practiced, and so did Niara. Both of them practiced fully yesterday. They're both questionable. Now, Kiki's a long shot, but she could play tonight. Kiki Rice might be returning to the court tonight because she did participate in full practice both Sunday and Monday. So, and they tested her to see how she felt after Sunday, and she was fine yesterday for Monday's practice. So the signs are there that Kiki Rice is very close to nearing return, and it could be today, but we'll see. If she does come back today, I expect a 15 to 20 minutes restriction for Kiki. And I'm pretty sure Niara is going to play tonight too. But Isabel's most likely not playing, and Brittany is definitely not playing. So that's kind of how I read the injuries for the Tempo for tonight. Everybody else is clear. On the other side, Emma Chekova is probably held out for developmental contract games. But everybody's very healthy on that side, including Collier and Dorka, who just returned to to their lineup. The ESPN matchup predictor is saying 78% chance the Lynx win, 22% chance for the Tempo. Our referees are Ashley Gloss, no record with her. This will be the first game Ashley referees for the Tempo this year. Number 10, the crew chief. Number 24, the referee, Gerda Gatling. We're 2-1 with her this season. And RJ Johnson is the umpire, number 41. We're 2-0 with him. So we have 2 winning records with the 2 refs that have refed us. And we're overall 4-1 for the season with the refs that are present for today. Yeah, it's going to be a fun night. I would say, look, Tempo, take care of what you can. Take care of the rebounds you can. Take care of the chemistry. Take care of the different things you need to do to be at your best, to have the best chance to win. So if you you take care of your defense and your rebounding, and we can get some offense from different people, we may have a chance, but it's going to be very, very tough. It's very hostile in Target Center. It's a very difficult place to play on the road. And the Minnesota fans are very, very proud, and they're very, very good fans. So this is going to be a tough game. This is going to be a tough game. In a lot of ways, Minnesota, like I said, I feel like this is the year for them, for Collier to get the championship and for her to be very happy because she's driven for this. In some ways, I would say the difference between Nafisa Collier, Aja Wilson, and Brianna Stewart is that those other 2 have championships and Collier doesn't. So in some ways, she's hungrier than them because she wanted to get that. And this year may be the best opportunity for her, even though she's been hurt for half the season. The Lynx have held shop really well with her out in her absence. And now that she's back, it's just reinforcements, and the strong get stronger. So I really do believe this. I'm going to say this again. I think this is Minnesota's year to win the championship, and that some of the disappointments of the recent years are going to go away because they finally get it this year. And Olivia Miles will be a champion in her first year. I could see that. Yeah. Yeah. Izzy got hurt in practice with her knee. I think she knee knocked somebody, and she was not in practice yesterday. She got hurt on Sunday in practice and skipped practice yesterday. So, yeah, that's the news out of injury stuff. W Stream, W Community, thank you. And Adriana is saying, let's go Tempo. Please like, subscribe, share, join the channel if you want for this nonsense talk about Swiss Chalet sauce on ice cream and a talking beaver that came in here and appeared on the show, and Bert and Ernie high philosophy talk. Yeah, you get it all here. All is something. I don't know. Either way, thanks for watching. I'll see y'all tomorrow. We'll react to the game tomorrow, whatever happens tonight with Minnesota and the Toronto Tempo. Let's go, Tempo. Let's go, Marina. Let's go, Tempo. Let's go, Tempo. Let's go, Tempo. Let's go, Kawhi. Let's get this thing done. Come on, Leonard. Get up here. Let's go, Tempo. Let's go, Sandy. Let's go. Let's come back, Kiki Rice. We want you back, Kiki. Kiki, come back. Kiki, come back. We need Kiki. We need Kiki Rice. I want Rice on the plate.